Kind
And
of, sort of.
after 2 weeks and 1 bugged out stream and recording, we are back with Dragonsgrave, our level 20 Dungeons and Dragons
We're going
campaign.
full third world, people. Third world.
I'm sure that offends someone somewhere in this world, so thank you for a weekly
It offends
offense.
us.
But jumping right in, last week, Tanya, because there's a missing episode, I'll be more detailed this time. Tanya had the very difficult task of infiltrating the kingdom of Brigia, specifically their river guard, the bordered wall city that separates them from the neighboring wood elf kingdom of Pazion, and
Yeah, I remember.
their prison. She was to instigate a riot in the prison as a distraction, and then make a staged attack, making it appear as though elves were attacking the kingdom, to instigate a war, given that the two kingdoms are in a current ceasefire that is very flimsy at the moment. That went as well as you could have expected, with Rosana coming back very badly injured, and pretty much
Did
in a
she die
small...
though?
No, she's in a coma.
No. She needs a break.
She's in a coma.
A vacation.
But
Holiday.
An extended vacation. Thaumaturgy.
And Tristan has managed to uncover the fact that inside the mines in the old ruined Changeling Kingdom, there are spirits, very malevolent, violent spirits, being watched over by some unknown force, and maybe a hindrance to actually mining that area. All this happened just to steal something that belongs to the Wood Elves at the moment in the heart of their kingdom. As Tanya and Rosana make their way back into the kingdom and Tristan has arrived to relax and report the day's findings, Maege finds herself coming out of the dungeons slightly bloodied with her usual regal dress because of some dealings that she had made with an unknown entity who had granted her abilities. Some blood sacrifices had occurred unbeknownst to anyone as of right now. And Tanya, all you know is that when you were supposed to die, time had slowed down, you had been given a boost in your abilities, and the last thing you heard was your sister sends her regards. So, Tanya, you're back.
We still have shitty rolls, by the way.
Garbage
You-
rolls.
Tanya, you're back. Or you, Tristan. We're picking up right after Tanya gets back from that area and fight. As you meet in Maege's room, as you siblings meet in Maege's room with Ida by your side, as this is important. Maege is cleaning the blood. Sorry, Maege is cleaning the blood off of herself, and you can see a blood-stained
Unbelievable.
white dress just on her room. Tanya barging in will notice this. So, Tanya, you're beat up from that. Rosana is in a self-induced coma to regain her strength. Ida is very tired from having to maintain the Dragonsgrave's arcane defenses. And Tristan has a bit of something to report until you notice that Tanya's been beaten up, bloodied, and Maege for some reason has a bloody dress, despite not having any injuries on her.
It's been a very rough month, guys. You know, I have been highly irregular these past few cycles.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Who
What?
would like to be the first one to say anything in this
I
most
like-
awkward?
Yeah.
I like how at this point the DM is having none of Maege's shit. He's like, okay, who wants to report to Maege?
Mage, you're the one supposed to be safe inside our castle. What happened to you?
Many things happened. I slipped.
It's just the four of us, right?
did
Yes.
some yeah. I had to do a bit of work in the kitchen. Yeah, like Yeah. You all believe me, don't you?
I don't even have to say
Well-
insight check.
Yeah,
You really
it
don't.
was so badly done. It's
You
so
really
badly done. I'm just gonna look
the
at him.
next time I'm
If
Doesn't exactly explain that you're in the kitchen and suddenly your god is assisting me with my mission.
Oh, did he?
He did.
Mhm.
He rained down a hail of arrows.
How
It was
is
terrifying and amazing. at the
Speaking of
same time.
arrows, Eda just goes up to Tanya and pulls out an arrow sticking from your back.
God, God, no, you're not supposed to do that. God, I'm bleeding again. Oh God, I'm bleeding again.
Yeah. You're not supposed to pull it out.
Oh God, I think I'm gonna go have this patched up.
Let's just say, since we are all family here, that I may have requested a little bit of help, but apparently you already figured that out on your own as well.
He
You-
told me he sends his regards.
He's a very sweet man.
Your regard.
Ooh, he's a suitor.
He was
Oh,
very specific, Mage. It was terrifying and amazing at the same time.
There are a lot of men and creatures who are trying to win the affections of your older sister these days. It's a hard time. Good brides are hard to come by, so this does not surprise me.
And for some reason, it got you bloodied up.
He's a very rough man. I mean, rough around the edges. That sounds wrong. Shit. He's a man of very unorthodox interests. Let's just put it that way.
Well, if this is something that you cannot tell us directly.
I can, but I would prefer. Yeah, I would prefer not to tell you directly. Instead, I will just subtly give you very obvious and leading hints, and you will just have to put two and two together. By the way,
Not the smartest.
there are a bunch of prisoners in the dungeon that need a little that I have granted their freedom. Okay, so if you'd be so kind,
Why?
And
yes, you protest. Freedom's a good thing.
okay,
So you released them? Eda's asking.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
are they happy?
They
How
are in a better place, yes.
How did
they
they
have-
get out of
In a
Dragonsgrave?
better place.
I'm just gonna look at Tanya like, yeah, they're in a much happier place.
I think I'm gonna claim plausible deniability on
That's
this
it,
one.
inside
I'm
check
gonna
for everyone.
say- Inside check.
it's like,
I'm assuming that
Oh,
Mage
okay.
isn't trying to lie, but is actually trying to give subtle hints, so they have to understand what the hints are.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Make inside
I
check.
actually rolled really high.
Do I want to roll low?
It's really up to you.
I do have good insight. At
That's
17.
33.
At 17.
33.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a
17.
few corpses that you're probably gonna have to take care of in the dungeon.
I'm just going to get this patched up, and then I'm gonna have Lucas clean up the mess that freedom cost. It's gonna
Yeah. Freedom comes at a very high price. So,
that it does. You don't mind if Lucas finds out anyway, right?
not
Right?
at all, as long as no one else does.
No. Like, he doesn't talk at all. I'll go have cleaned up. Freedom.
Wait. Before you go, my dear sister, and before you rest, I did get some information. I found some books in the Changeling Kingdoms while waiting for the teleportation circle to arrive.
Please tell me we're not studying.
I'm not studying, but for some reason...
This bitch would rather clean up bodies in the dungeon than study.
Yeah,
Low int means counts for something, you know. Low int counts for something.
maybe it's something that you may know. I mean, that you need to know that the tablets cannot actually be destroyed. And for some reason, they are drawn to changelings by design. And Just want to make you feel special, that's all.
I mean, being the only person or the only race that can turn their form into anything and being extinct makes me special enough. I do not want some weird, bizarre tablet that can grant ultimate power chasing
Either
after our
this
kind.
is-
Thank you very
well,
much.
You're actually not the only race that can change their form at will. There's quite a
another.
number of
Okay, I don't feel
succubi in the
special
world.
anymore.
Succubi.
They have morphing
Oh,
abilities too.
Always such pleasant family talk. Succubi.
Oh, okay.
Nice seeing you, Ada.
But
I haven't
yeah,
seen you in a long time.
Maege,
Nice, we had this chat. Yes.
that would be my report, but there are a lot of undisturbed books there, and I wish that someone would be collecting them all. Maybe we could have some sort of private library.
Ooh, that seems a bit shady.
Yeah.
Taking books from an old kingdom and keeping them in your
Me-
library.
No one's gonna use it. They're all
No one's
dead
gonna
anyway.
use it, and I mean, we haven't mined anything. At least there's some knowledge that we can get. Maybe that's worth something.
That's also true. Very well then. I will allow it. Okay then.
Okay.
Okay.
In any case, Mage, thank you very much for your assistance. I would have died if you didn't do that. I would have genuinely died if you didn't do that.
Yep.
There's no doubt. Just
Now
dead.
you owe me one.
Starting a war isn't worth, killing a few prisoners for succeeding. I did a very good job. I haven't reported yet. Everything is on
Maybe-
fire. They think it's the elves. The elves managed to break out of the prison, and we got back here alive.
But we still have to wait to see if it actually starts a war.
We were very provocative.
Yeah.
Wholesomely provocative, I hope.
Just, flip them off and stuff. But I would say it's enough to start a war. Maybe. I don't know how politics works. I'll go clean up. I think corpses can fit in my bag of holding, so it won't be much of a problem. Let's go. Okay.
Look.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
to the
it
dungeon.
does.
Okay, go ahead. Enjoy your day.
I mean, meta question. Does it interact the things inside the bag of holdings thing? So
No.
if you have a corpse,
They're
No.
always separate.
Okay, it's good to know.
Mhm.
Tanya, I suppose you're looking for Lucas.
Yep.
Maege and Tristan, is there any business you need to conclude here before you go to rest for the night?
I actually need to, for Tristan, can you tell me more about the spirits, brother?
Oh, the spirits. They used to live in the mountains, and for some reason now they occupied the inner, the inner part of the cave, and they try to whisper into your ears, make you affected to go more inside. The more time you spend inside the cave.
Okay.
The further in you
Yeah.
get, the more influence they have over the physical world. So while you're just digging shallowly in the cave, they can't really affect you other than mind games. But the further down the cave you go, the more influence they have, so they can actually harm you further down into the cave.
Well, aside from the spirits, I'm not sure if they are the ones who did it, but someone actually put a skull in our campsite, and we just think that it was a warning for us not to be there.
Do we know anything else about them? Like, if there's a particular race or species that these spirits used to
One thing that I know is that they used to ally with the with the Changeling Kingdom against the elves. That is part that I can know from the history that I have. I can remember.
Do you think it would be possible to negotiate or to parlay with spirits? I mean, we do have a changeling here.
I was thinking
they
about that,
recognize it?
but I'm not really sure about their motivation because they're just happy. From what I'm seeing is they're just happy that they have that place there. No one is disturbing them.
That's
I was thinking that the reason why I was going through the books in the Changeling Castle is that I was thinking about motivation. What would have come? I mean, why would they ally with the Changeling thing? But unfortunately, I didn't find anything.
That's tricky, because the thing is that's going to put a dent in our mining operation. Do you
And the miners cannot function anyway inside there because of the mind games that they are playing.
is there any way to protect the miners, or maybe we can get on the good graces of the spirits?
No negotiation attempt has been attempted.
We'll give that a shot.
Hmm.
Anything's worth a try. I mean, if all else fails, we can marry Tanya into a spirit. Then, and then when the marriage fails, we can just say she was ghosted. Badoom.
Hell. It's a question, Nigel. I forgot the name of the spirits. I'm very sorry. Didn't wrote it down. Are they the shields? No.
The Shales. Those are the
yeah,
those are the
the
spirits
Shales.
that are inhabit. Those were the name of the spirit before they became spirits. The ones who were in the mountains. But
Yeah.
the spirits are
Shales.
just revenants of some sort, or a spirit of some sort.
Okay.
We'll have to give it a shot. Tristan, it might not be up your alley, but could we do some more research into these spirits and into the cavern, into the caves?
About the shields.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gather any and all information we can about them, and I suppose that also means getting more of these books.
There are some minor, I think, tribes, safe to call them, around that area. Maybe I can ask around when I get back.
Yeah, diplomacy would probably be a good idea. Let's see what friends we can make up there.
Okay. So, is that anything else you need to discuss or you need to do for the evening, mate?
For me, siguro one last, I need Marcus Crane.
Okay. Is Tristan either dismissed, either returns to her post to keeping up the arcane defenses. Marcus Payne enters your room. Baroness, you called.
Lord Vane, I need a report on the finances of the family. I believe correct me if I'm wrong, Nigel, 50,000, we were going to make like a refinery or something.
Yes.
Yes. So, Lord Vane, how are we going with that? Let's start with that.
The gemstones that the free elves you have adopted, the ones that they have provided, have significantly boosted our finances. We, with the cost of the refinery and everything that has gone in between, are down to about 7 or 8,000 after
Okay.
paying off our men and everyone else that needs to be paid off. However, that should be enough to maintain our position for a little bit if we cut down on certain expenses, but it can be done, especially since our winter boar farm in Frost Garden is now operational.
Okay. So, I take it that that's going well then, Lord Vane. We will have enough food, for at least for the coming months.
We will definitely have enough food. Some of the men may have to ration, but not to a degree where they would starve.
Okay. What about the I'm just going to wink at Lord Vane, the vegetable garden.
The vegetable garden is, in fact, growing well. The plants around have bloomed, and the vegetables being grown, the produce, has blossomed, as it were. We do not have druidic magics to expedite the process. However, certain magics have been applied, and we have ample fruits and vegetables to last us for several weeks. We are looking to expand the size of the garden with your permission to break down several other dungeon rooms to make a more sizable garden, if you would allow.
You have my permission, Lord Bane. We will not be keeping many prisoners for long.
Very well. I shall inform the workers.
Yes, and what else?
Baroness, there is the issue. One of the workers who were helping the elves in constructing the farm reported a strange smell from one of the central chambers down in the dungeon. He was concerned and reported the issue. The door seems to have been locked. I believe that is one of the things that only you would have access to, so I'm here to just inform you of the concerns of the people.
It might have been a plumbing issue, Lord Bane. Kindly inform my sister Ada, and I will have it booked into. Thank you.
Perception check.
Very well. I shall inform Ida.
And then there is another thing. I'll check my notes. Wait. What about the is there any more news of what is the name of Lord Drogas's merchant family? The guys that we were doing this with.
One second.
Drogas.
Hold on. I think I'm supposed to have that here.
Yeah, you gave us an info.
The cheap wine family, right?
Yeah, the cheap wine family that we are allowing them to steward our vineyard because we have better vines. And then we just get a cut.
Loris, House Loris.
House Loris, there you go. How are we going? How are things going with that, Lord Bane? Have they moved in their equipment or their people or?
That meeting technically just happened.
Okay then, so he won't know anything about that.
Not yet.
Then
that was just negotiated while your siblings have been off dilly-dallying.
Fighting war. Starting wars. I mean, exploring the countryside. What about Lord Bane? Do we have any news from Lord Alden? If there's any how are the usual bandits along the high road to Azram? Are there any weird stories coming from the people of Frostgarden?
Alden has been rather talkative and informative of his reports, very cooperative. No bandits, no problems with the exports. He has managed to establish an export route, actually. He is personally overseeing all exports of meat and boar that goes into the city and the various other small towns within domains of other barons, just to ensure that no attacks happen, but there seems to be a lowered activity of bandits around our area.
That's good. That's good for business. And the people of Frostgarden themselves, how are they? Our charges.
Well, change does not happen overnight. However, the last few nights since the expedient creation and matings of the boars, thanks to Rosana's spell, has provided them with enough food to last for several weeks. They are much better than they were, however, still slightly in a tough position given our location, but definitely better off than where we started and much more pleased with their current situation.
Can work. Well, I suppose you're right, change doesn't happen overnight. What about from your spies, Lord Bane? Do you have any intelligence reports? What goes on in the capital?
There is one that I have discovered. It kind of opens a note. One of my little whisperers has informed me via Raven that a surge of magical power had come from this castle. An unnatural surge of unnatural power that has drawn the attention of the Oracle. While there is no word of what they are going to do about this, they are aware of what has happened. Whatever they do next, we'll have to wait and see.
What was, on a meta level, Nigel? The last visitor we had, the creepy guy, he was from the Shades, right?
Yep, Phineas Spike.
All right, then we can use that to our advantage. Very well, then, Lord Vane. Maybe sometime tomorrow morning, as I need sleep, I will need to speak with Rosana and with Celestine.
Rosana is out of commission.
Rosana is in a comatose state after her last excursion.
That's on you.
She did not fare well, being paired only with Lady Tanya. She did not exactly have the means to defend herself, given that she was already rather injured from performing the ritual, and we sent her out with Tanya on a rather dangerous mission. She has expended all of her physical abilities for quite some time.
Celestine, then. Tomorrow morning. It's fine.
Celestine, very well. One other point of business regarding Rosana and her position, and given that she is the only Arcanist that we have. One of my associates back in Azram has informed me of a young up-and-coming arcane spellcaster who is currently unhappy with the kingdom's internal workings and has refused an invitation to join the Oracle. She, I believe, can be persuaded if you would like me to attempt. Young,
What's in it for her?
unrefined, however very talented. Well, for her, she
What
gets to
is in it
stay
for her?
away from the Oracle. If we can provide her with enough reason to believe that the Oracles will not be able to bother her with us. Well, that's all she really needs. There are rumors, however unconfirmed, that the Oracles may have had something to do with the death of her parents from her early age. But these are just rumors.
Do you trust her?
She does not like our enemies. I would not go so far to say as I trust her. I do not know her. However, her discontent is very well noted. Perhaps with a little training and incentive, she may become useful to us to ensure that Rosana and your sister are not the only ones capable of magical talent in this family. However, of course, there are always dangers when including an outsider into our ranks. But given the situation and what we are trying to accomplish, what you are trying to accomplish, Baroness, perhaps we should consider gathering aid from unlikely sources.
Alright. Make it happen. I'd like to meet her personally too.
I shall attempt contact with her and see where it leads.
Thank you, Lord Vane. That'll be all. Oh! 2 more things. I'm so sorry, my notes. Do we have... Tanya left, no?
Yep.
Did my sister mention anything, if they were able to dig up any, do we have any news about the hags?
They were not able to collect, as far as my knowledge knows, the hags. The last time she spoke to me, there was a report about how the hags were a myth, that they did not exist, or at least most of Hazion believed them to only be a myth, but that was all the information I'd gotten from her. Seems the elves don't necessarily believe in this fairy tale.
Risky. Alright then. I suppose that's something our new aspirant might be able to help us with, if she might know anything else. Thank you then, Lord Vane. I suppose on your way out, can you just conduct a routine inspection of all of the castle's wards and guards?
Of course.
That'll be all, Lord Vane.
He leaves. You can prepare for the night. Tanya, I would like to know exactly what you tell Lucas when you find him on his post. Uh-oh.
Oh.
He keeps disappearing.
In a bit.
Also, that is the only information that Tanya managed to collect, is that the hags were a myth. Tanya, what exactly did you tell Lucas?
on cleanup duty. Come on.
He just steps off, walks next to you. What are we cleaning up?
Freedom.
He's just looking at you while you're walking.
I'm just gonna shrug and go to the dungeons, making sure that hide. Make sure no one sees us.
Okay. He just puts on his hood, walks through the shadows like he always does. Are we to execute prisoners?
I think that's already been done and dealt with. We're just cleaning up.
Ah, very well. Just walks. Mage is presumably giving you the key to the room. You open it.
And I can lockpick it, it's fine.
Very well.
People like us, we don't ask questions. We just do orders.
He's like, the Giliath family has orders. It's probably not gonna make sense, but I trust them.
But I trust them. It's my job to follow their orders.
The right word is I owe them, not I trust.
I owe them.
You open the doors. 9 corpses. Kind of forming a strange pentagram formation.
It's starting to smell. Come on, let's go clean up.
How long have they been dead here, Master? It smells like weeks.
Felt like weeks. Not entirely sure. We don't ask questions. We just clean up. Do you have something to cut them with? Because I don't think they can fit in my bag.
He looks at the bodies, and when you see them for yourself, Mage just did this. The bodies look like they've already decomposed.
Who knows? Maybe they'll use it as fertilizer in the garden.
This family is so desensitized.
Lucas is just kind of muttering, like, how has no one smelled this? And he just starts chopping things with a machete.
I'll just chop as well.
He just kind of takes a cloth and wraps it. Lucas is no stranger to death. However, he is very much a stranger to the smell of rigor mortis. Like, normally when he kills someone, he doesn't have to smell them after months of decay. He just kind of takes the bodies, starts dumping them into your bag.
It smells so bad.
Am I to assume, Master, that no one's to know about this?
Nothing that we ever do is to be known by anyone.
Very well then.
Oh god, it smells. Oh, how do we get rid of the smell? Oh god.
He starts smelling the cloves. The smell of rotting flesh sticks to clothes, Master.
Oh god. I don't want to. Oh god, I don't want to face. Still. Well, I kind of did. Oh god, I just remembered. Oh my god.
Still bleeding. When you clean
blood
up
is seeping out of my clothes.
When you clean up the corpses, and leave the dungeon, Lucas immediately just. We can't leave the dungeons like this, Master. Everyone will smell death on us.
We can just say that we cleaned the plumbing.
The smell of sewage is far different from the smell of rot.
Fair point.
He opens one dungeon cellar. Just kind of looks around. He takes out his bag and he has a fresh change of clothes. He just changes there. Not necessarily carrying what you're around.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look.
Changes his clothes.
You have good foresight. I'm looking down.
Changes his clothes. Puts them back in his bag. Might I put this in your bag, Master?
Yep, sure. Just head out. I'll go get change as well. I'm just going to. I'm assuming that I have spare clothes in my bag of holding, so I'm just gonna get.
Yep.
Oh, it's my favorite hoodie. Well, I guess I can just wash it overnight.
Okay. Both of you change your clothes. You start to leave. Where are we to put the trash, Master?
I don't exactly understand, but can they be used as fertilizer, or did they smell too bad to actually work that way?
Normally you have to bury the corpses beneath the ground before they start rotting. They're supposed to rot with the earth.
Well, that's a waste. I guess I'm just gonna ask Mage. But I think the cat could. No, we can just ask. I'm just gonna ask Mage. Just be ready for call. I'll go ask her.
Very well.
Oh, it's on my hair.
He takes the bag out of your holding and basically just burns the old clothes.
Take mine. Oh, my hoodie. I'll wash it. It's fine. Just take the others and just burn them as well.
Very well. Burns all your clothes as well. You head back to Maege, who's already getting prepared to sleep.
Good night,
Mage.
sleep. Good night,
Mage.
sleep.
Mage, I need healing, Mage, I need healing, Mage.
You're bleeding.
I'm gonna barge in her room. Yeah, I'm gonna barge in her room.
Like,
Mage,
damn
I
it.
need healing.
I don't have a napkin today, that's why I'm bloody. What do you want?
Mage, I need healing.
Healing.
And I need to know where I'm gonna put the bodies in.
We have two very different definitions of healing, but
What other definition is there?
you need healing. DM, can I heal?
No, you cannot.
Healing. Yeah, you can't.
I suppose you could look for Celestine for the healing.
Should have come to me. The paladin.
Oh yeah, Tristan can do that. Yeah, okay, I'll just have it. Tristan already healed me before. I can just have it. Oh god.
So it's the body.
I shouldn't have pulled that one up.
So it's the
We're
body.
doing it awesome.
Throw them in the caverns.
Mhm.
No one will find them there.
One
Do we
where
have to do this
Ada was
now, or
attacked.
can we do it in the morning where wolves can't attack us? Although I don't mind going for a hunt. Wolf meat doesn't taste that bad.
If you run into wolves, give them one of the bodies. Give them an arm or something.
That's gonna leave a bone, and it's gonna be something to explain it.
What is the quickest, most... Wait. Disembodied voice of the world. There is soil in the dungeon, right?
Yes.
I think our crops could use a bit of fertilizer. You know what I mean?
I asked Lucas about it actually. He said the bodies need to rot with the soil.
How many bodies are there, DM?
Mage, from your perspective, there are 9 bodies and they should not be rotting yet. You just did it this morning. But you don't know what
They
Tanya's
are.
talking about when she says they need to rot with the soil. They haven't rotted yet.
God works in mysterious ways, I see. Wait.
It smells really bad.
It should not
Can
be
things-
smelling yet, Mage. Like, it should not have a smell at all. It just happened.
What happened then? Can I do like a lore or like religion check on that?
You can ask Tanya. He hasn't told you that they rotted away yet. He's just telling you things that don't make sense to you.
Oh, you can ask her to show it to you.
What do you mean they rotted?
Desecrate your whole
They
I
rotted
just
like
did that.
they.
I mean, they just slipped this morning. What do you mean they rotted?
Yeah, very subtle, Mage. You want to see it yourself? I'm gonna walk towards her. I'm gonna open the bag. I'm gonna grab a hand, literal hand, just hand.
There's a desiccated, rotting hand out of the bag.
That smell will not leave the room.
It smells horrible.
Yeah, so they're rotting.
It smells
I'm
like
gonna
months
put it
of
back inside.
death.
You don't happen to know how to clean my hands and my hair, can you? With your magic.
I do have
Prestidigitation.
It will work.
prestidigitation. I can do it for you. Yes, just hold still. Okay. It's a cantrip I have. Okay.
That similar magic that kind of overcame you when you were in Brigia and desperately needed help. Similar feeling kind of washes over you, taking away the stench of death.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Good. Okay. So, regarding for the bodies, I suppose I could. Is there any way to expedite rot?
It's been expedited already.
It's already rotting.
DM, what if, I could. But we could make them rot faster. I do have, I could make a cloud of fleas, infestation.
I would say that putting infestation on corpses would probably eat them up. Yeah, if you do it enough times.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what maggots do.
I mean, I would just probably have to check back once an hour. So, I could do that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We need to think the logistics through. We're doing black magic here. We're doing black. Yes, Tristan. Yes.
No, we're about to eat those crap that you're about to fertilize with dead body.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? It's fertilizer.
I pissed in those crops. I don't see you complaining. So.
No, I'm not there, but yeah.
Fertilizer is fertilizer. They literally use shit, and you don't hear people complaining.
And today's the day we found out the Lord Commander was into golden showers.
Oh, this family becomes even more deranged by things.
No.
Oh, speaking of Maege, ow, God, I should stop moving. I told you about that thing with the hags that they're near the Elven Kingdom, base of the mountain.
Is there any reason to believe they might follow us back here, or they might approach over here?
You have the three people they're hunting.
They're trying to figure out where the three, spellcasters are. So if once they manage to track them down, they might actually go here. But for now, I think they're struggling to look for, because they're severely devoured without the last witch hag.
Do we have any bannermen who specialize in fighting spellcasters or beasts of this sort?
Sir Loon.
There's Loon. He did say that he was, trained for that matter.
On your way out, could you send him to my room, please? And then that sounded wrong. I mean, could I talk to him, please?
I mean, fine, I'll go call him.
In the meantime, is it possible DM to cast infestation into the bag of holding so I can decompose?
No, you're not destroying my bag.
You need to see the thing to cast infestation on it. But you can't see it in the bag of holding. In order to see anything that's in the bag of holding, you have to pull it out of it. But if you want her to pull body parts out one after the other and then you start casting infestation and dump it back in, yes. Otherwise, no.
This is gonna be a long day. Alright.
Oh no.
Tanya, I'm gonna need you to
I don't
pull
like
out
your smile.
I'm gonna need you to pull out all 9 of them.
Maege, I literally started the war earlier this morning. Can we do this the next day?
Alright, I suppose they can rot a bit more. Or you could have Lucas you could have people maybe start digging irrigation ditches in the sides of the dungeon where the garden is.
I don't think it's Lucas's shtick, because we're kind of, we're the dexterous kind, not the strength type, but
Find me villagers who will do it.
Yep.
Yes?
You have the 5.
You have the 5.
Well,
You
we'll
can
get
do it
them to
tomorrow.
then. Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. I need 9. How do we inconspicuously explain this to people? I need 9.
maybe don't make them the exact number that the prisoners we had.
Have them dig 1 very deep.
You could just leave them in their bag of holding.
Yeah, it'll rot there.
They
Fucking
rot.
disgusting, but it'll rot there.
Oh, okay.
But you're the one who has to pull
How
it
do we
out.
fertilize it? Yeah.
The one who has to pull it out.
We need to fertilize the land.
Yeah, I mean,
Those
at some point
prisoners.
at some point you're gonna be pulling out a dead foot. So
Oh no, I'm not.
I'm just trying to help you here. But if you're telling me that's okay, then all right.
No.
Poor
I think the digging thing is a good plan.
All right then. Just have the 5 villagers dig 1 very deep hole, and if they ask questions, Lord Commander, tell them it's for a well.
I forgot to mention this. This is actually very important. It's my bad. Of those 9 prisoners you killed, I don't know if this matters to you or not, but 5 of them are elves, spies, who were caught in your kingdom some time ago. Wood elves.
Oh.
Wood elf spies from your kingdom. 5 of them are wood elf spies who... About three of them were caught by your father. 2 of them by your men. But 5 of the 9 are elves. Wood elves, if that matters to you.
What do I want to do with that information? You know what? You know what, sister? Put the 5 wood elves back in the dungeon. I will.
How do I tell them apart? I literally chopped them to pieces.
Yeah, the only one
You
you
dictate
can
what
see
you
is the
pull out.
ear.
You dictate what you pull out from the
Okay.
bag.
Elven feet, elven legs, elven
Elven
thigh.
ears.
Together. I'll have a word with them in a bit.
Wait, excuse me, have a word?
With who?
I mean, I will study them. Yeah.
Do you need the whole body for that, or you just need the, head to make it easier so I don't have to touch every single body part again?
DM, do I need
Speak
do
of
I
dead.
need the whole body to
No,
to,
you only need the part of the body that speaks.
All right then, sister dearest, I will need you to produce 5 wood elf heads.
I just cleaned up, damn it. But fine.
All right,
Fine.
You know what? Wait, leave them on my desk.
Ew, it's gonna smell.
I have prestidigitation, and yeah.
You
It'll be
prestidigitation can change the smell of something for an hour. You're not gonna get a good night's sleep after that hour runs out and they start rotting in your room again.
And you
You
don't
know
like
what?
the bag
I'll
of
leave you my
holding.
bag of holding. You can do whatever you want with the magic thingy overnight, and I will excuse myself and call Sir Loon while you play with dead people heads.
Okay then. And in the meantime, the rest of their bodies will just stay in your bag to rot until the point they're rotten enough. We will bury them in the dungeon.
You
Yep,
wanted to send Sir Loon to your room while there are 5 wood elf heads on your desk.
Oh.
I was being a dick about it. Of course I would.
No, I mean Mage.
Oh, yeah.
You want to
That
send
was
Sir
better.
Loon there.
That's how I was gonna seduce a knight to get her to get into sleep with Mage. Do I make you horny, baby? five like wood elf heads on my desk.
Anyway, Tanya leaves the room.
Does this turn you on?
This is 31, baby. Do I make you Randy, baby?
You mind,
You need therapy.
yeah.
Tanya
You
leaves
mind
the
your
room.
illusion with yung lamp.
Kaya.
Yep.
Um,
Visit my room.
Technically,
I'm
Tanya.
just gonna go to Tristan.
Okay.
I'll
Technically,
just- guys,
Tanya.
Go lang.
Technically, Tanya, Loon is off duty, off his timer now, because he was
Mhm.
part of the group that went with Tristan. So if you're gonna
Mhm.
find him, you'll have to find him in his personal room, in the barracks of the soldiers, or wherever he
Yes.
likes to spend his time.
That's not sketchy at all, but I'll do that after I visit Tristan, because I'm still bleeding on my shirt.
Tristan, in his nightwear, is already taking a rest as you knock on his door, or if you're
Oh
knocking.
no, I'm barging in. Tristan! Making
Tanya
sure
just
that I don't
barges in.
hear any weird thing inside his room before I barge in. I do not want a repeat of what happened before.
Tanya barges in. Tristan's already lying down.
I need healing.
Oh, yeah, I forgot earlier. Come here.
I'm gonna plop on the bed like face down.
I'm just gonna pray to whatever deity we have.
You don't need to have
Do
belief in a
whatever,
deity.
dear.
You can just believe it.
Yeah, you don't
Paladins
need
are
the
powered
deity.
by their oaths, not their deities.
Some
Okay,
fucking paladin you are. I would like to offer prayers to I don't remember.
Whoever the fuck I'm serving.
Whatever the fuck your
Just
name
say
is.
for the cause of Dragonsgrave.
What is the cause of
Tanya,
Whatever we're fighting for.
healing fixes the wounds and scars, but the pain has a
Is there
bit of a
anything I-
lingering effect until the night ends. So it still hurts, but you're
Is
not
there
bleeding.
anything I need to like restore something?
Lesser restoration
restoration?
can
Greater
take
restoration.
away the pain for a bit.
I'll just do that. I'll just use all.
Tanya, you're fine. In fact, if you're using lesser
Well,
restoration,
Tanya,
that
maybe.
means Tanya's pretty much had a long rest.
Mm-hmm. I feel amazing.
Next time, sister, find a way that where I can help in some of your missions. So that you don't.
Well, you're kind of, and I'm like kind of. So, our specialties are like completely different.
I'm sorry.
But
That's greater restoration, not lesser. Never mind.
Okay.
Go on.
Well, maybe we can find a way.
yeah, I could
suggest-
really use some help. It wasn't fun. Well, it was kind of fun, but it wasn't fun. But I'll go.
Do you have anything else to do before? Why are you not taking your rest yet?
I just had my rest, thanks to you. Thank you very much. I owe you for that. Well, no, not really. You still owe me. I have to look for Sir Loon. Mage's
Oh.
orders.
At this time of day, at this time of night, you visiting one of the soldiers in their private barracks.
Well, it's not as bad as Mage inviting them to her room now, is it?
You can have someone. I mean, I can. Yeah, just summon someone. And write a letter. But
It's
you don't
fine.
have to
I
go
mean, I can
personal.
find him.
Okay.
Plus, I already feel like so much better after that. I'll be fine.
Are you okay?
I'll be fine, Tristan. I'll be fine. I'm gonna while clearly hiding something and then moving away outside of his room.
Go. Take me.
You're looking for Loon. Sir Loon.
Mm.
I wonder if anyone actually remembers his first name. But anyway.
I never knew.
Yeah.
I just know him as Sir Loon. I never
Nigel?
found out, I think.
Yes.
Very quick question. Does Diced Coffee have an Instagram page? I'm just gonna tag
No.
it here.
No, we do not.
Alright then. Alright.
Might as well get.
So, Tanya.
Idris. Idris
go.
Loon.
Oh,
There you go. So Tanya.
he does have a first name. Cool.
There's a
Large
there's a
player.
barracks ward of Dragonsgrave where most of the soldiers stay. There are some guards outside if you want to ask them. I'm assuming you're just
yeah.
Tanya.
Just Tanya. Good evening. I was sent here by orders of the Baroness to look for Sir Loon.
Saloon? He's off duty right now, but he's not in his barracks. You know where he is? The other guy just looks. Ah! Yeah, he said he was gonna use the training room. They opened the door of the barracks to you. Go down the hall. Third door on your right. Go down that way. First door on your left. Training area.
Understood. Thank you.
You walk in. You find soldiers either fixing themselves, mending themselves, resting, or getting ready for their shifts. What do you expect from a barrack? So you just follow the instructions.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wander around.
You do head over into the training area. It is not used at this time of night because people are either asleep or on duty, and they wouldn't have the time to use it. What you do find is Sir Loon alone in the training barracks. You're not sure if he's training. He's definitely doing something, but he's kind of meditating there, standing, shirtless if it matters, riddled with scars.
It does.
He has scars all over his body, like multiple slashes. Some of them look deeper, like stab wounds. Down his back looks like a very large cut from a sword that has been stitched up. He's currently just in the very center of this circular structure where the soldiers kind of train hand-to-hand combat. He's just sitting there, not moving a muscle, kind of staying still, calm, and unmoving. You want to just talk to him? He doesn't seem to notice that you've entered.
I'm going to tap at the door, like make a really loud noise.
You knock. He's still standing there. He just breathes. He looks to the door, sees you, says, "Yes, can I help you?"
Wait, question. From our travels before, does he know me as Tanya, or he's only known me as Luna, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so she does. We've never interacted like the two of us.
No.
The Mariness is summoning for you, Sir Lou.
Very well. Inner quarters or the hall?
Quarters. Just knock and she will let you in.
You can see him kind of cracking his knuckles a bit as he summons his blade, and then he basically does a maneuver where he spins about, throws the blade towards the wall, and it hits something before it hits the wall, just and then you see this previously invisible creature just turns into Iker. He just walks forward, takes his sword, wipes it, and then unsummons it. I shall see you in less than 5 minutes. Takes a shirt, cleans himself.
Understood. I'm just going to bow, then I'm going to
He leaves.
leave.
He does call for a squire to clean the Iker.
Yeah, I can't exactly ask because most people don't know that I'm a combatant type, so I'll just waddle sadly back to my room.
He leaves. You're sad after that sight? He leaves. He
Not
goes
really,
up
but
to,
point still stands. I can't talk with him because I'm Tanya.
leaves. He goes up to Maege's room, knocks. Baroness, you called for me. It's Adrius.
You may enter, Lord Loon.
Baroness shows up with his sword, but no armor, just casual clothes.
Lord Loon, my sister informs me that you are quite a specialist when it comes to hunting. Then I'm just going to be very honest with him just to show them that I trust him, my kind.
Spellcasters, Baroness, yes, that is how I was found, and that is why I was recruited. Set skills in hunting down your kind, as you put it, however,
Yeah.
not indiscriminately.
What would you say is the biggest, Mage is just gonna kind of think of it, the biggest catch you've had so far working for our family?
Working for your family, there hasn't been much, to be honest. Baroness, you have not entirely ran into problems with spellcasters that would require my abilities prior to working for your family. Well, I suppose a hag would count?
Funny you should mention that. In general, without perhaps causing you to dig up unpleasant memories, how was it dealing with a hag?
The hag had taken out a small group that I had been working with. This was before we knew what we were dealing with. We were hired for a different job, to take an artifact. We were not told that there was a hag, it was a setup on our part. I spent the next year studying everything there is to know about these creatures. Where they live, their patterns, how they operate, the types that there are. And I killed it. It was not pleasant. Very difficult given I was alone. But it can be done with the proper preparations.
Very well then, Lord Loon. It's I suppose then that if under my family's banner you have not quite had the chance to make use of your talents, it seems that now is your time to shine. We have two hags that are on the prowl for certain guests we are keeping at the castle. I want you to work with my my siblings and prepare to two hags, I believe, that are, if it helps, somewhere around Hazion. Is that correct, DM?
Yes.
If that that helps you in any way, as to what strategy or tactic entirely, I'm not sure.
My question, Baroness, is Are we on the defensive? Are we awaiting their arrival and setting a trap? Or are we on the hunt? And we seek them out.
They are looking for our guests, which means they will probably expect to find us shored up in our keep. So you know what, Lord Loon, in the spirit of my father, and for old time's sake, we are going on a hunt.
Which hunts then?
We will take the fight to them before they can realize it. Hopefully that should be enough to catch them off guard.
We will want to move in the morning. They're less active and they are powered by the night.
You have 3 nights to prepare. You take whatever you may need. Take whatever you need. Talk to my siblings. If something is required from the armory, you may talk to Lord Bane.
Very well, Baroness. I shall handle this. Make preparations. Whom among the soldiers or your siblings will be accompanying me on this hunt, if any?
You may take the Lord Commander. You may also take... You may take the Lord Commander. You may take...
There's only Tanya or Ida left. Among the siblings.
And Tanya can't fight.
Yeah.
Luna, don't forget that. Don't you forget that.
Yeah. You may take the Lord Commander, and if need be, Lord Bane, you may take me.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Well,
Would certainly be helpful to have another spellcaster in our midst, Baroness, but would not be necessary. I have ideas on what to do. That would depend now on you, should you wish to enjoy a bit of a hunt against these creatures or not, I suppose. But I can make preparations.
You know what, Lord Loon? I've never actually been on a hunt myself. Could be a good first time for me, and besides, I suppose it would be good politics if the people of Frost Garden saw. Yeah.
Very well. I shall make the necessary preparations. We shall be ready to leave in 3 days' time.
Thank you, Lord Loon.
He bows. He takes his leave. I'm assuming all of you...
Tangina TJ, we're going witch hunting!
I'm assuming all of you finally get some rest for the night?
Yep.
You did, just reminding, on meta level, you did promise the other 2 alliance that we have. You'll call them when we're about to fight the hag.
Right. Bring Lord Loon back. I'm so sorry. Can we retcon that?
Sure.
Can we retcon that?
You can call him back from your room.
Thank you. Wait. Lord, there is one more thing.
Yes.
We will also be able to tap our alliances with Castle Windwake and Castle, what's the other one?
Nightwind.
And Castle Nightwind. Yeah. There is also that. Use some whatever ravens you feel necessary.
That makes things a lot easier. More manpower. Are you opposed to shock troopers, Baroness?
So long as we don't lose too many of them, yes, Lord Loon.
Not many. We won't have to lose any if they are well trained.
That'll suffice.
I shall send some ravens. I shall report back to you in 3 days' time.
It'll also be good. It'll also be good for the bannermen's morale. I'm sure a lot of them haven't seen a good fight as of late.
Very well then.
Yeah.
He bows and he leaves. You take your rest finally for the night. Does anyone need to do anything in the middle of the night?
Maege is gonna fap because she has not gotten any action.
Right.
I mean, pull out the head first.
Okay.
Decapitated head.
You get some rest, and in the following morning, there is a raven that has arrived, unbeknownst to all of you. But Marcus Bane immediately knocks on your door, Maege, just as you have just gotten off your bed. before your preparations. Baroness, I'm sorry to disrupt you so early in the morning, but there's something of there's an urgent matter that requires your attention immediately.
Yes, Lord Bane.
You
Good
and your
morning.
sibling. Good morning.
Uh-huh.
He shows you a letter, and it has the seal of the oracles on it.
So,
Okay.
He opens it. It is a letter from Guildmaster Marcia Fell, the head of the oracles. She has sent her right hand, Sir Felter Windstorm, to our keep to discuss matters of great importance. They have not specified what, however, given the information I'd gathered the previous night, it is not hard to assume that they are here to talk about this little surge of arcane power that had been discovered in our castle the previous night. They are to arrive here in the afternoon.
What do we know about the right hand?
He is cunning, ambitious, and the relationship between Marcia Fell and Felder Windstorm is similar to that of two Sith Lords. Once he's learned everything he has to learn, or if he presented with an opportunity, he will take it and he will take power.
What did the right hand of the Shades tell us last time? I know. From our meeting with them last time, would Marcus
Shade-
Bane rather?
Yeah.
I think I was talking to like the Guildmaster of Warfare or something. Like who would I rather trust between the oracles and the Shades?
He advised neither. Stay away from them. But if you had to, his specific words were, you can always trust a shade to lie. You never know what's in the head of an oracle.
What's the name of the right hand of the Guild of Shades?
Phineas Spike.
All right, Lord Bane, against in a move that might seem uncommon to many, I don't suppose it would be the Lord Bane. It is quite. Okay, Lord Bane. It is quite windy outside, don't you think?
He looks quite.
Quite. I've also been a very busy Baroness this morning. Due to the wind, we can't really rely on the accuracy of our ravens for the morning. Would you say that's true?
The ravens may find it difficult to find their mark accurately, or at least on time.
They might end up giving the wrong message to the wrong people. Would that be a reasonable risk to assume?
Delayed messages, yes. The mistaken messages, perhaps a raven had been dropped on its head or hit a tree due to the wind, perhaps gotten lost.
Therefore, Lord Bane, it would be quite unfortunate if, let's say, for accident, knowledge of this little visit accidentally ended up with Lord Phineas Pike.
Quite unfortunate indeed. I would assume that we would have to craft a letter for formality to the Guildmaster for the Oracles to inform her that we accept her invitation and trying to confirm the time and place, and that letter should not be seen by anyone else.
Oh yes, I'm sure a man of your talents, Lord Bane, can make that happen. I mean, can try your best
May
to make sure it
sometimes
doesn't.
be difficult given the circumstances outside, but an attempt can be made. I am not counting too much on Lord Bane, but I am assuming that you will do your utmost best. Of course, as always.
yeah.
He just
Here we
smiles
go.
and he nods.
Yeah.
He
Poor
leaves the room.
Raven gonna be dropped on the head.
Smack right into a tree.
Yeah. Phineas Pike's gonna be like, what the fuck was that?
Raven just hits his home just on the window.
This is great.
Tristan, when you awaken and you have the time to prepare, do your usual rounds. You find Lorne, Sir Lorne, carrying a number of spears with him on his back and on the cart of horse. He's not leaving the compound, but he is he is doing something with the spears that's unusual. And you see your right hand waiting for you, as he just said.
Jonas.
Yep. The second command looks at you and says, Lord Commander, Sir Lorne has informed me that the Baroness had given him free reign over the armory and anything he might need for a witch hunt that you are to participate in with him. The details would be with him or your sister, but I have given him permission. However, I will not pretend that I or the other soldiers understand exactly what it is he is doing.
Just right. I have talked to Maege something about this. It is also a surprise that I would be part of it. Although we haven't had any good fight recently, so this got me excited. You want me to approach him and get some details?
Not necessary, Lord Commander. However, I leave it to you should you wish to speak with him. I merely inform you that I'm not entirely aware of what he's doing with our spears.
Okay.
Jonas just has a very curious and confused look on his face.
Okay. I'm gonna approach Jonas. Thank you very much. I mean Lorne. Thank you very much, Jonas. I'll give you some details after.
Okay. What you see when you approach is Lorne is attaching the spears on top of carts, like literally on the roof of the cart, and he's essentially turning the cart into a makeshift ballista. There's our ropes. Now it's starting to make sense. He's turning them into makeshift ballistas using the spears. He's gotten this stretchy fabric that he's taken off. Basically, they've become mobile ballistas that can be fired from inside the cart. He's also destroying the front of the cart to make it sort of a crosser or a way to aim. Like he's making a small way to aim for it. And he seems to be carving runes into the shaft of the spear.
Sir Lorne.
Lord Commander.
I assume that you have talked to Maege last night.
She had called me in, yes, to inform me of a hag problem.
Oh yeah. And I assume these are the things that we do for preparing against it?
Well, the Baroness had explicitly stated that she would prefer the minimal loss of life. As such, I will have to take...
Okay.
Let's call it unorthodox methods. Our ballistas are too large and heavy to be mobile. The cart is not. I have had to unwind some of the wires in the ballistas that are not being used to create this. But this should suffice. They're not for harming them, however.
Okay, how many men are you planning to join us this witch?
The Baroness had mentioned that we have alliances with Castle Windwake and Castle Nightwind helping us. I'm assuming the bare minimum from them would be 5 people each, from us around 10, including myself and yourself should you wish to join us, Lord Commander. I believe we can keep the loss of life minimal to non-existent depending on how we maneuver. But if I be able to finish what I am planning in the next 3 days, it should become much more of a fair fight for those of us without arcane talents.
Would you need some help with that?
Ordinarily, Rosana's assistance would be much appreciated. However, given her condition, I can manage this on my own. I will have to abandon my post for the next 3 days, Lord Commander, to accomplish
Yes.
runes.
Can you give a briefing to Jonas so that you can inform the 10 men that will be the other soldiers that will be joining us.
I've informed Sir Jonas early this morning. He is going to look for 10 men for me. I suppose it is more of a volunteer than anything else. No one needs to go there. Anyone who's looking for a little glory in the art of killing a hag.
Is it really that difficult to kill a hag?
If they are in the Coven of Free, Lord Commander, it would be a near impossible task. There's only 2 of them, as the Baroness has mentioned. It is very difficult. While they are not physically adept, they are very hardy. Despite being just spellcasters, they are very difficult to kill no matter how many strikes you get into them. Some can even survive after a beheading. Some of them have reconstituted from ashes. The other difficulty is their ample amounts of magical power. They're very dangerous. You'd have to get near them to kill them, but you can't get near them if they turn you to ash before you do. They also have incredible foresight and the ability to perceive the surroundings beyond human capabilities. Tricks. And then he looks at where Lucas is posted. Such as what our assassins are capable of will work on anything else, but a hag will see right through. Without difficulty. Attacking from the shadows will not work, unless we have the element of surprise first. But even then, it will prove to be rather difficult for them to do so. These arrows I'm creating out of our spears are not designed to pierce them or damage them. If I remember my runes correctly, and he's carrying a small steel pen with a diamond tip on it that is glowing in the core. If I remember these runes correctly from my training, we launch enough of these spears in the right places, they'll form a cage of sorts. The hag's power will be limited within that cage, and they will also be unable to leave unless the spears are damaged. From then, some of the men's jobs will be to defend the spears. For that, I will be creating some special shields. So long as they hide behind those shields, whatever magic is thrown at them will do minimal damage. Then the difficulty will be for the men who are charging after the hag and having to fight them head on. As I said, the element of surprise will not be useful once we are in melee range. So we have to start from an advantageous position.
This whole preparation of yours, are you sure it will not get you exhausted after?
This is something I'm quite used to doing, especially before I joined your family, Lord Commander. I know my limits, and I know what I'm capable of, and I know what a hag is capable of. I would not wish to exhaust myself before facing.
Just a quick one. So if we successfully eliminate the 2 hags, there are no other, for example, 2 hags that would try to reach the one that we have here.
Hags work in the Coven of Free, but they are always a familial tie. They are born of a certain bloodline. You cut off at least one of those bloodlines, there will never be a complete coven for those hags. They can never have a complete coven. We killed 2, and assuming the 3rd one has never been activated, or the curse has not taken over them yet, they'll never have to feel the power of a hag.
Okay, so our elf friend,
Will
we
be
just
free.
got here, will be free. Okay.
Yes. You will also adopt great magical power. Not on the level of a hag, but significant upgrade.
Well, I think that's it. I will not be taking your time anymore.
Of course.
Just give me some updates, or if you need any other help.
Of course.
Preparation.
Just nods.
I'll go back to Jonas.
Okay.
Just really quick. Jonas.
Lord Commander?
Yeah. I have discovered a secret room in the Changeling Kingdom. I would like some soldiers to retrieve all of the books in that secret room.
How many would you require to retrieve all of them?
How many are the books? I mean, is 3 enough?
A library's worth.
Library's worth around 5. Do we have
5 men if they all have bag of holdings. It's not the number of people that's the problem. It's how you're gonna carry all those books.
That's a lot of book. Is how many can we spare? Around 3 or 5 do we have?
We can spare 5. How do you plan on transporting the tomes here?
That's it. How many bag of holdings do we have in this kingdom?
3. One of them is with your sister.
Okay. I mean, just carry the 2 bag of holdings and yeah.
Very well. I shall find some men.
Okay. Who is the mage right now? That has the Rubik's Cube type of thing.
Celestine.
Go to the Changeling Kingdom.
Celestine is the one who handles the portal.
Okay, just contact Celestine. Okay.
Of course.
And I'll give you the direction
Of course.
where to look for. Okay.
Tanya.
That's it. I'm going
Okay.
to our breakfast room. Everything.
Yep, your dining hall. Tanya, when you awaken, there is a cup of hot milk on your bed.
I never know where they come from. They just pop beside my bed.
They do.
Are you sure it's milk?
It just appears there. That's why I always have a cup of milk.
Did you
It
just
always
say-
appears there.
Did you just say they just pop inside you? Did I hear
No,
that
they just
correctly?
pop beside my bed. Damn it, Mage. Yeah, they just appear there, so I'm gonna
Okay.
grab it. That's good.
You don't have any dairy in the snow. Please.
No one knows where it comes from. Not even I know where it comes from. I just it just happens, and I am here for it. I'm gonna go to Mage's room.
You awaken. You wake up. Lucas walks by you making his rounds.
Mhm.
Just nods at you and looks at the cup. And then he leaves. You want to call him?
I would like. Can I roll insight? Although I would assume, as Tanya, that Lucas is the one who leaves it because technically he's the only one in this palace who can sneak up on me, right? When I'm asleep.
You're the one who has the skill to do so.
So I'm gonna assume that it's from him. Because
He
I'm
also
gonna
doesn't
shrug
make
at
an effort to hide it. You just never ask.
Mhm.
Just kind of nods.
It's basically I just allow it to happen. Like, yeah, it's an ongoing thing. Wait, Lucas,
Master?
is this your way of telling me that I should get Troller or something?
I'm sorry. The milk?
Mm-hmm.
No, Master. I just saw you drinking it before, especially when you were tired. I figured it might give you energy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I really like milk.
Of course, Master.
Mhm.
Turns around and leaves. Still don't know where
I'm
the
gonna go
milk
to
is.
Mage's.
What the milk is.
I
FYI.
don't know where it comes from. I don't know what it is. I just drink
You
it.
just never ask.
Not asking questions.
Press X to doubt. Press X to doubt.
We don't question blessings. You just accept them, and that's it. I'm gonna go to Mage's room. Just gonna.
Master, forgot to mention something the other day, given everything that had happened.
Yeah.
He pulls out a dagger. You recall that excursion we had in Hazion?
Yeah.
I managed to get this. He gives Steve. While you were alone in the room, Celestine and I had run into some trouble with a few elves. They had to be taken care of swiftly. Memories erased, of course, not dead, but I did manage to take this. Elven dagger, riddled with runes. Not entirely
Are you
sure
sure
what
you don't-
its abilities are, but perhaps you might be able to find out.
Do you want me to find out and I can give it back to you? It is yours.
He just shakes. It's yours, master.
Thank you.
Of course.
I guess I'll find out, and if it ever comes to a point that you need it, you can always take it from me.
Of course. He just leaves.
Anything happened recently around castle? No.
Not really. Been quiet. Few more elves walked through that secret entrance to the caverns. Other than that, nothing.
Few more elves, huh? Are they the same people or just different?
Different. I
Did you
don't
hear anything
understand.
from the conversations?
I was watching from the walls. I did not make it in time to catch by the conversations. They walked in, heavily armed, however.
Okay, I'll just... Have you told Maege about this?
I've informed... He just kind of looks. And then he looks down. Odd. I should have informed Lord Bane. Just
Are
looking
you
around.
alright?
There's something wrong.
What is it?
I saw them. I was making my way to Lord Bane to report. And then the next thing I remember, I'm back on the wall in my post. I knew I had the intention to talk to Lord Bane. But I don't recall
was
having a
this?
conversation. The previous night while you were out.
I need you to investigate the place that you last remember. Maybe they left anything.
Yes. He takes the dagger. And he starts cutting his palm a bit. In a strange way. Yes, I shall investigate.
Are you alright?
I don't appreciate being messed with the head. There are precautions I take. Take care of that. I'll be fine, master. He leaves.
Okay. I'm going to hurry to Maege.
Okay. You barge in her room again, while Maege is absorbing
It isn't-
fixing
it
a corset.
As
Yeah.
usual.
Yes,
I don't
Tanya.
suppose you really need to have a maid, help you with that, but business first. Apparently, Lucas saw a few more elves go inside the caverns and he was going to report it to Lord Bane, but on the way to Lord Bane, he somehow lost track and when he came to, he was already in the walls. I was figuring that you might recognize this magic.
Is that so? Can I do a check on that DM?
It's not an uncommon thing. You don't really have to check because you have pretty good arcana. It's not an uncommon ability to rewrite certain memories, change a few things, or just make them black out. That's something spellcasters are known to be able to do. To what purpose or why or how it happened within your walls, you're not sure.
Bring Lucas here. Alone.
Alright, on it.
Ooh.
I'm going to go. I can
Like you're
whistle,
about
but
to-
I'm whistling.
Like a teacher about to lecture a young boy. Young man. Go.
Lucas begins
You don't
scaling
lose your
down the
memory
walls.
like that.
Yeah.
Lucas begins scaling down the wall. He looks troubled. Also looks like he stitched up the wound he made on his own hand. Master?
Maege
Lucas.
wants to talk with you.
Very well. Baroness? Is Tanya going to be there? No.
going to stand by the door. I'm looking at Maege, waiting for
Enter.
if she's going to dismiss me.
No.
Oh, stand by.
Yeah.
Vanes?
Okay.
You called for me?
Lucas. Good afternoon. I did. My sister tells me that you have quite an interesting account to tell. Something that, I'm sure you understand bothers me greatly. Seeing as it might, gaps in people's memories are to be taken quite seriously these days.
Yes, I am still trying to recall the steps from the previous day.
It's fine. DM, can I use detect magic?
That's easy enough. There is an enchantment on his head. There is an enchantment that's surrounding him.
Okay. So Lucas, it would seem that that you have been enchanted. Let's see. Is Nigel, is there anything else I can gather from it?
You know that the magic is there. You also know that it is an enchantment. It is an enchantment school of magic. It seems to be some form of memory spell, but that's about it.
Do I have anything that's capable of undoing that? I don't.
You have dispel magic. Otherwise, you'd need Celestine.
Or Tristan, no? Or Tristan can't
Does
do
Tristan
that.
have dispel? I don't think he does.
A warlock. It's not a paladin, it's a warlock.
Wala.
Or other.
You'd
All
need
right
Celestine
then. I'm going to look at Tanya. Get me Celestine.
Understood.
Okay. Lucas just looks at you, Maege, before you leave Tanya, and just says, "Shall I gather the whip then?"
Excuse me? The whip?
I have failed. Is failure not punished?
No. At least not under me. The fault wasn't yours. I mean, if there's a gap in your memory, that just means and then I'm just going to go over to my table to pour the boy a cup of tea too.
Okay.
No, you will not be punished, and I'm going to give him a cup. It's fine. These things happen. I suppose what's important is we learn. And besides, I suppose, what do I know about Lucas? He's an orphan, right? We just found him.
He orphan, but not from an orphanage. Orphans didn't have any parents. He was
Yeah.
a slave child. Your parents found him. He's around Tanya's age. You were there when your parents found him. He was a child slave worker, a child slave.
Okay.
So he is used to being struck down and whipped whenever he fails at something.
All right, I understand.
And
okay.
all these years that he's grown up with your family, he has not shaken the habit of calling you guys master or some sort of title, nor has he shaken the habit of, if he fails, he expects to get hurt.
Has he ever been hurt all this time, or hindi pa?
No, but he still doesn't understand the concept of why he's not getting whipped for his failures. However, that entire ideology that he has made him very good at what he does because he's trying not to fail very hard. It's the very concept of being whipped or flanged that makes him very good at what he does, because he knows that failure would be punished, despite the fact that after over a decade now, your father, nor you, nor anyone else in this castle have ever put their hands on him. What he does in his own free time, that's up to him.
Well, Lucas, no, you are not being punished today. And then I'm just going to give him a cup of tea. It's fine. Whenever one of us fails, then Maege just switches to big sister or the mother mode.
Is Tanya sitting down for this?
Well, she went to get Celestine, so she's
yeah,
not going
no.
to see this side of Maege, diba? So
And
it's
I'm a walking failure, so I probably got this speech several
there are
times.
Okay.
yeah. there are certain failures. There are certain failures that are punishable by whipping, I would suppose. But this is not one of them. I suppose the most important bit is that we learn and that we know that there are threats out there that have yet to be documented. Use this experience to motivate you to become better so that you don't become charmed again in the future. Then a mage is just gonna smile at him.
Very well, Varnus. He just waits patiently, drinking the tea you gave him. Tanya,
Yeah, for Celestine.
you walk into Celestine's place, where you see Tristan's second command talking to her about the orb, and then Celestine looks, Lady Tanya, how may I aid you?
Good morning, Celestine. The Baroness requests for your presence in her quarters.
Of course. Sir Jonas, I shall make the preparations later. It shall be ready when you have your soldiers. He just nods and leaves. Nods at you. Celestine leaves. Do you walk with her? As you're walking towards Maege's place, Celestine immediately... Oh dear. And then she gets a squire. Excuse me, squire. Would you be a dear and hand these over to Rosana? Make sure she drinks them, but do it carefully. She is still unconscious. We don't want her to drown yet. Don't worry, the fluids are laced with magic. She should not have any problems drinking it, despite her state. Thank you. Please go with haste. She needs it on the dot. The injuries are quite grave.
How is Rosana doing?
Her body has entered in a self-induced coma to recover from the injuries. Most of the damage came from the spell she had performed. The ritual to get a boar farm started. Your excursion the previous day did not help and has aggravated her physical state. She requires several days in this state to recover. The medicine I give her is to make sure that her body is still well nourished despite her condition. She will recover.
Well,
perhaps a little slowly.
that's good to know. Oh, Lucas told me that you found this in Halcyon. Do you know what it does? About the dagger.
Ah, yes. Lucas had asked me to study it. However, I don't believe he quite understood what I told him. I was looking for a way to tell him in a more mundane manner, but she hands it back to you. Essentially, the dagger allows you to mold the shadows around you, extending the reach of darkness to a certain area within the dagger's range, of darkness that only you can see through.
So, meta darkness spell?
Sort of, but you can automatically see through it.
That's amazing. I'll keep that in mind. How many times can I cast?
It's
Or
limited
used.
to once a day, and it follows where the dagger goes.
And how long does the shadow last?
Last I checked, about an hour.
That is impressive. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Within the shadows, of course. The other thing. You cannot create any sound within the shadows. Good for sneaking. And the thief. Celestine enters with Tanya. You see Lucas being given tea and Maege seemingly just finishing some sort of speech.
Yeah.
Celestine, High Priestess, good morning.
Good morning, Madness.
How are we today? Like beso beso.
Well, we are still working on certain projects. However, I was told that you had something urgent for me.
Darling, I just need I need you for a very quick moment. It would appear that our boy Lucas here has been charmed. Some sort of memory modifying spell. I was wondering if there was anything you could do to help us.
How long ago was this? Lucas just looked. Previous night? Celestine bows and kind of looks behind Lucas's shirt. What was it? Very well. You would like me to dispel this, correct?
Yes, please.
She just looks very worriedly at Lucas as she kind of takes one more look behind his shirt to his back. And she kind of taps it. Sort of like she's looking for an injury.
Yeah.
But she does kind of just nod. Does not waste any time, expends her highest level, just in case this is a very powerful spell, to dispel it. Takes her about a few seconds until she puts her hand on his head, and you see a small blue aura that just dissipates from Lucas's head. Should be completed. What do you remember? I saw the elves walk into the cave. I made my way to Marcus Bane. There was a voice. A woman's voice. I don't recognize the voice. I've never heard it before. It was a woman, motherly. She was humming a tune. Humming it for 5 minutes. I never left my post. I simply stood there. By the time it was over, I just stood by my post, forgotten what happened. Lost my mind and skipped going to Bane.
This may be uncomfortable, Lucas, and then I'm going to put both of my hands in his head, and then I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts. I want you to remember everything.
He does
Take
not.
it through it one at a time.
He does not. He does not resist. However, my question to you is, when he doesn't resist, you have to peer through his thoughts. This is the only thing you're looking for, or do you want to see other things in his mind?
That specifically na muna for now.
Okay. That specifically, he was on his post on top of the tower, making sure he's watching everything. He sees two elves, heavily armed, both male. Heavily armed and armored, and they seem to be carrying magic, some sort of magic staff. They open the entrances mentioned to you and they enter. As soon as he sees this, his immediate thought is to go to Bane to report, to tell you. He takes one step down the staircase. He just stopped. He stands there. You hear humming. A sweet, dulcet, motherly tone. Make me a history check.
History check. Sorry about this. Phone's a bit slow. History check. There we go.
Oh, nice. That is the... You can't tell from the humming, but the moment the words just kind of utter. Rest now, sweet child. There's nothing to be alarmed about. You recognize the voice of the Guildmaster Marcia Fell.
My question now is, what does the Guild of Oracles have to do with armed elves going into the cavern?
Is there anything else you need to look through Lucas's head? Or you want to let go of the spell?
That's good for now. If ever I wanted to pry through his head, I would ask for his permission, please.
Okay.
Thank you, Lucas.
Of course. Shall I return to my post?
Celestine or Lucas?
Lucas is asking.
Alright. Yes, Lucas, you may.
Celestine immediately just... Lucas, what you're thinking of doing, please don't. But if you do, feel free to visit me immediately. You don't have to wait like last time. Yes, master. He leaves. Celestine looks at you, Maege, and says, well, Baroness, If that is all for the day, I have a few preparations to make, as the Lord Commander would like a few men transported to the Changeling Kingdom to find a few books.
Very well then, Celestine. You may carry on with that. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. She leaves, as she curtsies and leaves.
When Lucas passed by, right before he passes by me, I'm just going to lift my hand and ruffle his hair. Like, just gently, and I'm gonna let him. I have my eye on you. I'm going to pat his head and just let him go.
He leaves. As Celestine leaves, you notice that she takes a long look at Lucas, shakes her head, and then walks the opposite direction back to her room, back to her office. There's a very worried, incredibly worried look on her face. Anything else from Maege? And Tanya, who's in the room.
Jay, your dog. Your frog, I mean. Keep your frog in check. Making noise. Jay, we all know you have a nice hairy frog. However, this is not the right place to show it.
Can we not?
Jay.
Actually, I'm gonna look at Maege and say, so are you going to hold on to my bag for a while, or can I have it? Are we just going to...
My little bag of holding. It's like, you can keep it. It's okay. That's quite enough. That's quite enough culture for me for today. I do have one question though. That boy, Lucas.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time with him, don't you? He seems to periodically expect getting whipped every time he doesn't live up to the job.
He asks me from time to time about this too. I always decline, but I never really got to talk with him about it.
Maybe over time we can acquaint him with some of the, maybe it's a luxury at this point for him, luxuries of actually being free. Maybe you could talk to him some of that. He's not going to get whipped in this household. If the only men I whip here are way older than he is, so no, like he's not going to get any of that.
I'm actually surprised that you actually do have men in your room that you don't, talk business with. But I'm not gonna pry. Whatever you do in your room is yours. I will try to speak with him, although he never really does listen to me. He listens to me all the time, but he never really listens to me.
I understand. Boys will be boys. There hasn't been a man in my room in ages. The last 9 men you brought into my room were all rotting in your bag of holding. Another day, perhaps.
Yeah, but did you ever take out the head? Or should I put them in the dungeon now?
Quite frankly, I'd like you to put the head somewhere else, but no, you can leave the head in the dungeon. Let me know when they're there. I will speak with them.
There are footsteps approaching Mage's room. And then there's a knock on the door. Baroness? It is Loon, Baroness.
Enter, Sir Loon. Good morning, how may I help you? And then I'm going to look at Tanya. Another man, see? But we do not sleep with bannermen around here. Oh, sorry,
I'm gonna peek out of the curtain. Okay, fine. I'm gonna step out of the curtain. I was hiding and you talked to me anyway. I'm not gonna say that. I'm just like have that look on my eyes.
Yeah, just
Yes,
Lord.
Yes, I'm sorry to interrupt, but do you recall the excursion we had outside of Castle Windwing in that anomaly? We had another with us, this woman, Luna, I believe.
Yes.
Might I speak with her?
I remember the girl.
She requested to be trained in what I'm capable of. I figured this would be a good a time as any to inform her and perhaps yourself or your brothers, anyone who would be interested to learn.
Tanya's here in the room with me, right?
Yes.
She's just
like already standing there.
Oh no, she's no longer hiding because you talked to her.
I left the curtain, like I peeked out of the curtain because you talked with me.
And pero he doesn't know that Luna and Tanya are the same girl, right?
As far as you know, he does not.
I think Bane is the only one who explicitly knows I'm a changeling, and Lucas.
I remember that girl, that little servant girl. Very good squire. And then I'm going to look at Tanya. Be a deer and find her. I don't know where she is these days. Maybe playing in the dirt somewhere.
Yes, Baroness. I'll be right on it.
Okay.
Quite knowledgeable for a squire. Well, in any case, Baroness, should you, her, or your sister, your brothers, perhaps be interested? I will be in the courtyard working on our improvised weaponry.
I'll stop by tomorrow to see if to conduct a routine inspection to see which men you have rounded up for our little expedition.
Of course, and I will like to inform you, Baroness, as well, that I have taken a few carriages and spears to turn into, I would call it, mobile ballistas.
Seems a bit excessive, Lord Loon, doesn't it?
Well, when you face an opponent who can turn you to ash with a mere touch of a finger, I believe there's nothing that's too excessive. Especially when we're trying to minimize the loss of life. Besides, the ballistas are not for the witch. They are to contain her within a field that will dampen her abilities, giving us a bit of a fair fight. Fairer than what we start.
Very well then, Lord Loon. I trust in your abilities. Have you been able to speak with have you been able to also speak with any of our allies from the two other castles?
Ravens have been sent. I was promised more than what I expected. 10 soldiers, including Baron Drogus' son, and 5 mages, including Baroness Kiara herself, will be attending this little excursion.
Quite the party. Also might attract quite attention. However, we are hunting hags, and I think they are universally hated.
I had thought of that as well. The attention grabbing. However, we are leaving towards the northern wall, entering Hazion territory. There are some precautions that I'm aware of to take against mystical spies. I've managed to put a few counter wards. I did find a few in the tower, where the assassin boy usually stays. I've dispelled them since, but I suppose you would like to know that they were there. The wards have been removed. The elves have been informed. They have protected it against it. It should not happen again. I have also put wards around outside the walls. And on our horses and carts, making sure that they cannot be detected when the time comes. We should be safe.
We have 2 days, right? Because we went to sleep 2 days.
Yep.
I suppose then, Lord Loon, that tomorrow he'll be sending out tomorrow we will be sending out a small advance party to actually track them down before the whole party.
Yes, I will be leading a small group of people. Should you or any of your siblings or anyone want to join me, that is fine. Small scout. I am aware of how to track these creatures.
Doesn't make any sense why I should go first. Although, Lord Loon, you have piqued my interest. I will be joining the main expedition. Tomorrow, perhaps I would best leave it to your abilities.
Of course, Baroness. Nods. He leaves. As he leaves, he goes back to the central courtyard, carving runes on the spears and the carts.
Mm-hmm.
He's also carved up runes on where the towers are, including Lucas's own post. Tanya, I assume you find a safe place to change and end up becoming Luna.
Yes, however, I will go to Lucas's room, or where he is, as Luna.
Okay. You head over to the room. He is not there. He's also not on his post. But as you leave, there isn't a response. There's a bit of a delayed response, but he doesn't come from his post. He comes outside of Celestine's office. putting his armor on. Master.
I was too late, wasn't I?
For what? You wanted to do it?
No.
I was under the assumption that you were not interested.
And I wouldn't want you to do it to yourself as well. But it's going to take a lot to get it out of your head. I'm going to like grab his I'm going to pat his head. I'm assuming that I'm not taller as Luna. Just gonna ruffle his hair again, then I'm going to say, instead of punishing yourself, why don't we both train? Like good old days.
He just looks at you, deadpan, but with a more serious kind of face than he normally has.
Mm-hmm.
I am a servant.
It's against.
There's nothing. A servant has no value if they fail. Especially one of weak of mind.
Well, I am a servant as well, and I tend to fail all the time. Yet I'm still here. Still being a pain in the ass in Mage's, well, still being a pain in Mage's ass.
You're a family. Your whole family. I'm a servant boy. Trained to do one thing and failing at it. Failure is rewarded with punishment. I am fine. Lady Celestine was kind enough to fix the wounds.
Neither of us exactly are inclined or adept in dealing with spellcasters. That's always been our weakness.
It's not an excuse.
It is not, which is why we're both going to train.
I have. I'm joining Sir Loon on his expedition.
Are you?
Yes. He is the best at hunting these spellcasters, defending against them. He has already taught me a trick. He shows you his kind of bloody, a scar that he made with his knife in the shape of a rune. If you'll excuse me, Master, I have been away from my post for far too long.
Very well.
He nods and he leaves.
Never listens. For someone who listens a lot, he never listens. Oh dear. I'm just going to wear my hood and I'm going to sneak towards, stealth towards Loom.
What's your passive stealth? Unless you want to roll.
27.
Within 30 feet of him, there's a hand crossbow pointed at you. No one sneaks up on me. And he looks at you. Pulls the
You
crossbow.
requested for me.
Yes. You wish to learn, did you not?
Yes.
We're hunting powerful spellcasters. More powerful than anything you've seen before, I'm assuming. You don't face them head on, but you cannot hide from them. If I can detect you, so can they. And they'll do it much easier than I can. You see this? He tosses you a spear, kind of carved with runes. The runes are glowing red.
Mm-hmm.
I carved the runes with this. He shows you the metal kind of pen with the glowing diamond tip. This is called a Kele. It's an elven object designed to carve runes into objects, infusing the runes with power. Certain abilities. Those runes are caging runes. 10 spears lined in a circle. They'll create an arcane cage. The only way they can get out is to destroy the spears. We put men on the spears to defend it. Each man will have this. Huge rune carved on the standard shield. They'll defend, or at least make them survive attacks, more than they should be able to. They'll be able to defend the spears while more men come to charge out the witch. Within the cage created by these runes, they will be less powerful, but still not to be underestimated. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
When fighting against magic, you have to use their tricks. Not everyone is capable of using the same magic they are. Then he shows you the Kale. But this gives an edge. He pockets it. Would you like one?
So, I would appreciate it.
He pulls out a bag. There's 3 of them in it. This belonged to a brother-in-arms of mine who fell to a hag before. Long before I joined your family. I was but a teenager in training then. That was also the time I learned to kill my first hag. He hands it to you. He gives you a small black notebook. You have runes in there. A few of them. The rest you'll have to study. 3 runes that you can do in the cave. They enchant weapons. The enchantment lasts for 7 days. Until the rune runs out and you have to redo them. He gives you the 3 simplest, the one that only takes 1 rune. One is for defense, to infuse it to give you an additional armor class. One is for offense, to give a plus to your weapon. This can be applied on magical weapons as well. And the next one is a dispelling rune. This one is, unlike the others, is not meant to stay on an object. This one you carve into something that has magic, or a person that has some sort of magic on them. It dispels the magic. Those are the 3 that he's given you so far. The rest you'll have to work your way to get them.
I'll make sure not to put it to waste.
Oh. You're quite stealthy for a squire girl.
I have been trained.
By Tanya.
From time to time, yes.
He's looking at you. Strange how she's never around. She's the one who's trained, but you're always the one who's sent.
She serves our Baroness directly. The Baroness isn't fond of sending her to missions for some reason.
Yet she has no problem sending her brother or her other sister. You're going to be going
Yes, that
through
seems to be the
this.
case.
If you're going to be going through with this, you need to work on your lies.
One can only go so far.
Don't beat yourself up about it. I'm trained to look for your kind.
Train for it. How?
He looks around. You see his eyes kind of turn all black. It's been infused in my blood.
Well, I suppose there's no need to keep up appearances. For some reason, people see through me more than I would like to know.
That's because you're noting the people who see through you rather than the people who don't. There's not a single soldier
so.
here who's aware.
Good to know that I still have my skills with me.
I'm trained to find your kind because I was hired to protect them once.
Protect them.
A few people. Your kind are being hunted. What's left of your kind. They're being hunted for experiments involving blood magic. I was trained to find your kind and try to protect them, bring them to a safe haven. Paid a lot of money for it. So I had a few things done to myself to help me detect shapeshifters of all kinds.
Makes sense. this expedition of yours, you'll be taking Lucas, right?
He volunteered. I told him it would not be easy, given his skill set would be completely useless in that field. He wished to learn.
Yes. Well, I suppose he can take care of himself. He can do what he wishes.
Take this.
And I'll...
Tosses you a silver ring.
What is this?
Something I helped forge for one of your kind. So I wouldn't be able to find you. In case there's anyone else like me. It takes away your ability to change, leaving you in whatever form you're already in. But at the same time, no one's going to be able to tell you to depart from whatever form you've chosen.
I see.
You seem to be adamant about keeping the secret. Figured it might help.
I owe you for this, Sir Lorne.
Just keeps working.
I'll make sure to study some runes. And I won't disappoint you.
I'm sure you won't.
I'm just going to slip it on my... actually, ring finger. Then I'm going to head...
When you
out?
slip it, you're unable to change from Luna. Your power has been disabled. Okay.
Curious thing.
Mage,
Going to the library.
All right.
you have a meeting. As there is word of a cart arrive. Oh, sorry. There's word that teleportation has been used in your territory. Or the circle.
Okay.
You find your guards are escorting one Regent Felter Windstorm, right hand of Marcia Fell. He arrived, he's awaiting for you in Guildhall. Bane has called on your room.
Mm-hmm.
The Regent is here, Baroness. Awaiting for you in the guild, awaiting for you in the Great Halls.
Right then. Thank you. I will be with there shortly. Oh, Lord Bane.
Yes.
Has there been any news from the Raven?
The Raven may have missed its mark. Unfortunately, a message was delivered, but I do not believe it was
Ooh.
delivered to the right recipient. However, I cannot imagine this would cause any problems for today's meeting, as they were not expecting a reply.
Lord Bane, you really do have to do better. Is there do we have any idea of who might have accidentally gotten that Raven?
I am not entirely certain. It may have very well gone into the hands of Phineas Pike, for all I know.
Remind me to send him my apologies.
Of course, he
Late
should not be.
accident.
He should not be disturbed. But yes,
All right, I will. Go to the guild hall.
in the Great Hall of Dragonsgrave waits a man. He does not dress regally. He does not look regal. He dresses in fine clothes, but nowhere kind of pretentious fine. More dignified, like a diplomat. Kind of long blonde hair, swept back and held back. He's got a coat on. He has a cane with a gold top on it. He wears formal clothing, a ruffled shirt, and vest. He has two distinctly colored eyes. One is blue and one is green. This is the man you've come to know as Felter Windstorm.
Lord
sits-
Windstorm.
He stands up. He bows to you. Says, Baroness Maege Giliath. I
Lord
apologize
Windstorm.
for the short notice of my arrival, but the Guildmaster can be quite abrasive at times.
I understand, Lord Windstorm. Good afternoon. Can I get you wine?
Please, there's no need to work yourself for this. I would like my visit to be brief so as not to take too much of your time. I am here because there has been reports of an unnatural arcane power
Of
that
course,
had
Lord
peaked
Windsor.
from your castle the previous night. I would like to know if you know anything about it and if you would allow me to investigate.
On a meta, they did clean the dungeons, right? I did order them to do
Yes. Well, they cleaned the bodies. No one mentioned anything about cleaning the blood pentagram that was made.
And if there are remnants of magic in there, none of us would know. We're not spellcasters.
Wow, that's a big oversight. Imagine. Imagining living in.
Yeah, the problem is if we let
And
Windstorm investigate, there's a lot of shit going on in our castle. He'll find elves, he'll find a garden in the dungeon, he'll find the
there are
bloody
also 5
Tanya.
heads.
Also 5 heads in the dungeon.
5 heads in the dungeon.
I know, at least the 5 heads I can explain that. Like,
Prisoners.
I just torture them for shits and giggles. I like how it's the ultra macabre disembodied heads I can explain, but like everything else I can't.
The Farmville.
Well, Lord Windstorm, to be honest with you, there have been quite a bunch of things going on as of late. Rumblings in the interior. The north, the north does tend to be quite a troublesome place. Although surge of magic in the past few days would not be unheard of. To be honest with you, Lord Windstorm, and I'm sure you can appreciate it, I have been trying to dabble with a few, with a little bit of it myself. Since on a meta, I'm going to assume that he's not going to stand for any of my bullshit. He probably knows already that Maege is no Baroness, you're not just a normal politician. He can probably see right through me. Yeah, we're trying to dabble in a few of it myself, a little bit of it myself, making the most of what we can out here.
I see. Regardless, the Guildmasters sent me here to deliver on a report as to what had happened. It is in the best interest of the Guild to understand what's been happening between the Barons of the lands, should anything problematic arise. Would you mind leading me to perhaps your area of practice? Or allow me to search for the source of this unusual arcane power?
I will join you.
Unfortunately- Very well. I do come on the authority of the Guildmaster.
Yeah,
Sure you understand.
of course.
He casts a spell and releases a cloud of blue, and they start moving around, and he starts following it throughout your castle.
What do I know what it is?
Make an Arcana check. This is gonna be fun.
Arcana.
Yep.
Give me a moment. Third at the bottom.
Okay. It is a detection spell. It's like detect magic, only more enhanced. There is, as he leaves your room, he comes to some places that you warded. He immediately draws the attention, and Luna recognizes this, as well as Tristan. It immediately draws the attention of Sir Loon as he looks up, noticing there is magic being used. Follows it. He meets your gaze, Maege. He gives you a look. Do you want me to do something?
Loon?
Like, do you want me to? Because he's aware that you've been magicking up the place.
Yeah.
Actually,
And then
he's going to send you a message.
I'm going.
He's going to point
What?
his finger at you, and he says, "But unless he's casting a detection spell, should I give him something to detect other than what we've been doing?"
Casting detection. I'm going to. I get the answer back, right?
Yes.
Do I have any guarantee that the Oracle second hand is not going to be able to pick up on it?
A detection spell he's using would pick up on more passive things. The message spell is a little below the radar for him to be noticing if he's looking for something big. Loon's idea is to create something big to disrupt the detection. Give
How
him a
many words do I
distraction.
have? What
No
how many
limit,
words do I have?
but you only have one reply.
I know. Cause an explosion in the dungeon. Make it look arcane. Destroy all evidence. Clear out the place. Make it look like it was an absolute arcane disaster.
He nods. He immediately goes to Ida first.
Mm-hmm.
Ida, because she was taught by the elves, basically deactivates all the rooms. They're still there, but they no longer have an arcane presence. She's sort of shielding them. This was something the elves had prepared for.
Pero basically just like parang I suppose what I want to tell Lord Loon is like make an explosion, make it big, but make it look like it was just like an experiment gone wrong. Like make it look fine.
Yep.
Now make it look like I was just trying to experiment and then I just don't know what I'm doing. Ganun na.
This was discussed before. You have ruined the entire castle with elven runes.
Yep.
The elves, however, have been prepared for this, as you have told them before. So Ida has a very easy capability of masking the runes from detection, making sure that no one can see them and no one will know that they were elven. Just in case something like this would happen. Loon makes a run for the dungeon without any word to anyone else. He just runs past all the guards, past the Lord Commander, and heads straight for the dungeon. I'm assuming the siblings are baffled by this.
Yeah.
He just runs past you, Tristan, runs past Jonas, heads straight for the dungeon without word. He has his Kele with him. There is any particular part of the dungeon you'd like him to blow up?
The whole thing, except for the vegetable gardens, where I cast the ritual. Ganun na lang.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna
The room.
signal
Okay.
wherever that is. Yeah.
The elves are aware of the visitors, so they can mask the room. Elven magic is very powerful, especially from these three. They can match the region. While you guys are walking, you can see Felton notices something odd, but he doesn't know what. So he's a little confused, but he just moves on like nothing's happening.
Then,
10 minutes.
The first place I'm gonna take him is to like the tower with like the dragon skull, and then I'm going to point it out first. Yeah.
Yes. Quite a bit of magic has gone through this. Incredibly powerful. Something odd has happened here, but it is not the signature. Well, it could be, but it has been a few days and what I'm looking for only happened the previous day.
I
Curious.
understand.
I assume that this skull and whatever's happened to it is under your control already.
Well, I suppose so, but still, magic wins, Lord Windstorm. Complicated, I'm sure you understand.
True.
Then I'm going to.
As long as you can handle whatever's happening here, this is not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
10 minutes after the siblings had just saw Loon run past everyone without warning, you hear and all the guards start drawing their blades. Just Tristan, Tanya, Lucas, none of you are aware of this plan.
I know.
I
So,
am heading.
As far as you guys
towards the
know,
room,
heading
you were
stealthily.
attacked. You see
I'm
Windstorm
gonna
just
run.
look. Do you know what was that, Vanes, or should we check?
And then I am going to feign looking nervous. I'm going to go, oh, I don't know. Suppose we should find out, shouldn't we, Lord Windstorm? And then I'm going to like gesture for him to follow me.
Guards follow. You arrive with Tanya and Tanya or Luna?
Still Luna.
Luna and Tristan heading over. Luna, if you're following, you're going to be behind Maege, who is traveling with Felter. As you're
I am following, but very stealthily.
following, you catch Loon. He is very well hidden, but you are able to perceive. You catch him, and he sort of notices that you see him anyway. Doesn't know where you are, so he gives a random salute. But you get the feeling it's to you as he leaves.
Hmm.
You get the idea that he may have caused what just happened.
Yeah. He's gonna smile, but I'm still
But
keeping an eye on everything.
He only notices that you probably see him, but he can't. Doesn't look like he can quite put where you are at the moment, so he just randomly salutes. When you guys move forward, you find the door to that large chamber blown off, and you see Windstorm looking. That is quite the signature of arcane power that has just occurred here, Baroness. And he just moves forward.
Mhm.
He kind of twirls his hands, makes some hand motions.
Yeah.
Shadows from the left and right start to become hounds.
Mhm.
Like the shadows become physical hounds that are pure darkness as they run through.
Mhm.
Hounds come back. He dismisses them and they turn back in the shadows.
Mhm.
He walks forward, casts some light. This place looks like a bomb went through it. The crater that was created is 15, 20 feet deep into a curve. The walls are still crumbling.
Yeah.
The door is destroyed. Felter just kind of looks. You can see the blue cloud that he was carrying with him turns into a very deep red that's just glowing. He dismisses it and says, "That was quite an explosion. What exactly was going on here, Baroness?"
To be honest, Lord Windstorm, this used to be my little corner. Then I'm just gonna kind of do that with my hands. And to be completely honest, this kind of used to be my little corner of the keep. Apparently, this may seem trivial to you, but I have been trying to test around with a few things to kill time.
I assure you, Baroness, there's nothing trivial about an explosion of arcane power this size. Whatever you have been messing with, perhaps you should study some of the basics first.
And then I'm going to look like slightly stressed, slightly insulted, like, thank you, Lord Windstorm. Perhaps perhaps you could come around more often too for lessons. On my part, of
He
course.
just looks and says, "Forgive me, Baroness, I was not trying to be condescending, merely careful. You realize this continent is founded on great magic. Explosions and power such as this may disrupt that balance and cause problems for not just our kingdom but the entire continent. Depending on what you're working on, it might disrupt the weave that is existing on this continent. It would not be the first time. History lesson, Baroness. Would you like to know how the elves took over this continent in the first place? It did not always belong to them, despite what they would like people to believe. This
Go on, Lord
continent,
Windstorm.
this
I have a
continent
question.
was
Hi,
ruled by
Elf.
humans. Yes,
Okay.
this continent was ruled by humans once, long ago. Humans with excellent knowledge of magic. They went to this continent and built their settlements here because of the unnatural power that exists beneath it. unharvested raw power exists beneath the surface of Lorne. The High Elves found this, used it, and harvested that power to create destruction such as this, kicking the humans out of the land we found and claiming it for their own, rewriting history under their name. I tell you this because your experiments, if they are capable of causing this much destruction, you may be dabbling in a lot of power, and while that is admirable, should you continue to dabble in such a destructive manner, you may disrupt that power that lies beneath the continent and cause a chain reaction, perhaps causing the doom of us all.
Lord Windstorm, then, barring the damage to my furniture and to my real estate, the next time I decide to conduct one of these experiments, if it would be alright with you, of course, would you mind if I invited you over? Just to oversee then. I mean, I do understand that. I do see your point, and I do apologize. But if we are to dabble in such magics, we should be keeping you on the loop. We should be keeping you in the loop.
He looks at you, he just says, you are capable, or at least someone in your household is capable of sending messages discreetly through magic. Do it that way. Avoid sending me ravens. We always go through the Guildmaster first, and I can assure you she will not be merciful if she ever were to find out about this mistake. I, however, can appreciate the effort to learn more. I believe our business is concluded here. An explosion of some sort. Possibly because of where your kingdom lies. Surely through no fault of your own, Baroness. Does that sound like an accurate report?
I would say so, yes. Although, and then like on the meta DM, I'm just going to on the meta DM, I'm just gonna try and play it casually too. Although, to be perfect, it does sound like an accurate report, Lord Windstorm. Although, if I were to be perfectly honest, although quite embarrassing, I was trying a little bit of my hand at alchemy. I hope that this little show of incompetence doesn't get out. While I am a spellcaster, there is quite a lot to it.
I can hardly call it incompetence if magic from beyond the earth had made its way to your kingdom and caused you damage. I'm sure you had nothing to do with this, or at least that is what I will report, given that is what I have assessed today. He just looks at you with a you owe me look.
Alright. Very well then, Lord Windstorm. Then, as I walk him back, I kind of gesture at the guards to kind of stay back as well as I talk to him, and I go, oh wait, I'm also capable of sending messages, right?
If you have the sending spell, yes.
Hang on one moment, wait. Hang on one moment.
Anyone
Let me
who
confirm
can send,
that.
Anyone who can send is fine.
Message. I have message. It's a cantrip.
No, he's talking about the sending spell. Basically send it to anywhere in the world within the same plane.
Like right now lang. Just like right now while I'm walking.
You can.
Then I'm just going to say while we're walking back, I'm just going to say seeing as now it seems that I owe you one, is there any particular way in which you would that Lord Windstorm would persuade House Giliath to perhaps do anything for you in return in exchange for the very impartial report?
Nothing major, I can assure you. but we have been recently having problems with the shades, sticking their noses where it doesn't belong. Perhaps some aid in understanding their workings. I'm told that you have capable assassins under your employ. Whenever you have the time.
You heard that? Seems like it.
There's still one reply, by the way. Whenever you have the time.
Yeah.
Perhaps gather whatever information you can about these shades. I don't like their maneuvering, but I can use it.
Well then, Lord, I'm sure no one appreciates their maneuverings at all, Lord Windstorm. Then Maege is going to chuckle a bit as they keep walking.
Okay. Heading back to the teleportation circle where he bows to you and disappears.
Yeah.
Lorne is on the outside, explaining to the guards what just happened, because they saw him walk to a place, an explosion happened, and he left, so the guards are very much on edge with him. It's like,
yeah.
Can I just wave off the guards?
yeah. Thank you, old commander. And he looks at the other guy and says, I told you I did not cause it on purpose, so I did, but you understand.
Yeah.
It's okay, guys.
The guards just kind of look
It's
at
your...
you. Oh, it's been a day.
Oh,
He just leaves.
I know.
Take a load off, boys. First round's on me
Um,
tonight.
I'm just gonna tell the guards, find someone to clean up the
Of course, sir.
traitor. Traitor.
Floon just kind of continues carving spears. Ah, finally. Done.
Tear bless that man. I'm just gonna sit back into my chair and like,
As Windstorm is gone, you all find 10 carts, each with 2 horses, that have basically a makeshift miniature ballista attached to the roof and 10 magical spears launched into them, with the triggering mechanism under the roof into the cart. He's just made mobile weapons. He's also created 10 arcane shields. Stat-wise, magic damage is halved. All forms of magic damage.
If we gave Lorne another week, we could probably siege another family's castle with all of this.
Well, it's not siege weapons, and he's only one guy, but yeah. He just kind of creates these weapons. He just sits down. One more day. Shields are prepared. Weapons are prepared. Should be everything.
Am I missing something, Lord Lorne? I'm just going to talk to him for a bit. Oh, you never told me you were an engineer. How familiar are you with siege weaponry?
I'm familiar with the method of creation. I'm familiar with most weaponries and how they are created. Makeshift weaponry requires knowledge of the actual weaponry.
We may be able to put you to good use. I'll note that for now, Lord Lorne. Thank you. You may take a quick break or proceed as you wish and carry on with your work. I will inspect tomorrow at dawn.
Okay. He heads to the barracks. When he comes across, I'm assuming Luna and Tristan. He just kind of looks at you guys.
Yeah.
Will you be joining on the scouting or the excursion?
I'm actually thinking if I'm gonna go back to the Changeling Kingdom.
Scouting is tomorrow. The hunt begins the day after.
Yeah. Might as well.
If you're joining the hunt, I'm more than happy to train you.
I'll just say yes.
Will Maege be joining the hunt?
She had expressed interest.
I might be more useful in the scouting mission, but in the hunt, I suppose if Tristan and Maege are going to be leaving the castle, it might be best if I stay behind. Unless I was given orders to do otherwise.
Very well. If you wish to be trained, I shall be in the training room of the barracks. Lord Commander?
Okay. Let's. Yeah, I'll go. Okay.
Are you joining or no, Luna?
I will be joining.
Okay.
I'm going to, while walking next to Kristen, I'm just going to whisper, well, he knows. You know.
Yeah, you need to improve your lying skills.
It's not exactly easy to lie when you know Luna's here and Tanya's not. Suddenly Tanya's here, Tanya's not. I can't make illusions of myself, Kristen. We
How
can't
about
exist
stop
in the
pretending
same
to be
plane.
other people?
But I only have one persona just because of it.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
I only have.
It's always enough.
I need a way to make a minor illusion of myself.
You when you arrive in the training room, the first thing Loon does, he takes off his armor and shirt. He has all these scars, but when you, Tristan, you notice, because Tanya's not trained and she's distracted by scars. You, however, notice
Very
that
much.
not everything is a scar. Or not everything is a scar from your understanding. Some of them are slashes, but some of them are scars in the form of shapes. Very deliberate shape. He takes out the Kele and he marks his body. He marks one of the scars again, carves them, and it looks like there's a burning sensation. Starts marking them, and some of the runes that he draws on them tells you to wait for a bit while he finishes. He draws 5 runes on his body, two on each of his arms and 1 on his chest. Runes, Lord Commander.
That part
secrets.
of the thing. That part of the thing that we should do in our body too.
You don't have to, but they are defenses against magic. They are useful, however very painful to acquire. If you wish, I could teach you how to make them.
Does that make some of the magic, like healing magic, not work on me?
No, this only affects magic designed to harm.
Okay.
They have to be reapplied every hour, which is even more painful. But before a strike, they are quite useful.
Can you show me the basic one?
He shows you the 5 runes he made. For your physical prowess, for your speed, for your hardiness, points to his heart, and to his other arm, your ability to perceive, and if necessary, for your charm. 5 stats that you can sort of improve.
Well, what would be more helpful when facing the eggs?
There are multiple kinds of hags.
I like this super wholesome discussion between the Lord Commander and Loon. It's like, you wouldn't think they were about to go witch hunting. It's like it's going shopping. Which would
one?
prefer?
And Tanya's drooling at the corner looking at scars.
I was trying to memorize the rune, but I'm pretty distracted, so I would like to try at least. See if I can draw it on my notebook.
She's probably gonna end up memorizing his abs instead.
Yeah, pretty much like, oh, there's a scar here, and like a scar here.
When you try to draw the rune, your notebook catches fire. He just looks and just says, "You can't copy the runes without a Kele, and you can't put them on anything else other than your body."
Oh.
Oh, so I have to memorize them.
One carve on your body leaves a scar. Gestures to his entire torso. You just have to remember which scar does what. Anyway, Lord Commander, should you not wish to have these runes on you, there are other ways of fighting. First thing you need to do when dealing with a hag, all their magic, no matter how powerful, requires sight. Regardless of what spell they cast, regardless of how you normally understand the spell, The hag's power comes from their ability to see what they are doing. You cannot rely on blinding them with physical means, as they can regenerate. Magical means, however, they may be able to dispel, but if you can find a way to continuously use such magic, they'd be using up their abilities to dispel it, just so they could see. At some point they might rely on blind magic. Casting their spells without their sight will cause them to do it erratically. If we're lucky and if we position them carefully, they might hit each other with their own magic. But it would require them to be positioned carefully, and it would require bait. You would take damage from one of them in order to bait the other to hit you, your partner. It's all about strategy. We don't want to fight them head on, face to face. Second thing you must know about hags: they're stronger when they are together. Keep them away from each other. Past 50 feet of each other whenever possible. If possible. Whenever they are within 50 feet of each other, they amplify each other's powers. Lastly, hags are not immune to magic themselves. I'm not sure how many of you have spellcasting abilities, or the ability to cast Charm, for example, or other spells that would involve persuading them. But if you are, it's worth an attempt at least once. We have a very high defense against it, but it's not impossible to do so. If there's any way to disable that defense, that would also be useful. The other thing, while powerful, hags don't necessarily have incredible perceptive abilities from a certain range. Any long-range snipers that we have, any way to attack from a great distance, beyond 100 feet of them preferably, would be advantageous. However, the arcane cage that I've developed with those spears would only give us a 100-foot radius, a 100-foot diameter. So anyone who tries to attack from outside of that range, if they're going to abuse their blind spot, you must use something that is not of an arcane nature. Otherwise, upon entering the field, it will be destroyed. Lastly, when it comes to dealing with hags, there's a pause and hesitation, and it almost kind of strikes you as a PTSD memory, but he just shakes it off. When dealing with hags, the last thing you'll want to remember: always, always, always stay away from a direct hit. Their powers come from a direct line of sight of you. Any tree, any rock, any place you can find that would obscure you even a little bit would help. A shield, a rock, a tree, bushes. They're heavily reliant on their sight, which is why they're able to regenerate their eyes in an instant. But if we can obscure that sight, if we face them in a forest, that would be ideal. In a perfect world, that would be what we have. If anyone's going to play sniper and attack them from a distance, they'll have to move. They cannot stay in one place at the same always. The moment you hit them, they will know where you've come from. You need to keep moving. The arcane field that I'm going to cast will obscure vision, make them seem like blurry silhouettes. It will make it difficult to make a shot from a distance, but it can be done with enough skill. Perhaps put an archer there, someone powerful. That's about it.
I may have changed my mind. I will ask Maege, see if I can do anything to help.
Very well. Would you like runes put on you?
Yes.
Yes.
I've given your sister one, Lord Commander. If you like one as well, he presents you one of the Kayleys.
I would.
I'll teach you the runes. These are personalized, by the way.
Okay.
The one Tanya has belongs to someone called Edris. There's a name on it, but it's been kind of marked out by weathering. The one Tristan has belongs to someone named Cruzo. K-R-U-Z-O.
K-R-U-Z.
It's just an etching, like someone used to own it. Very well. It may be intensive to put more than one in such a short amount of time, so I would say a defense against the arcane would be the most useful. And he looks at Tanya. For you, perhaps something to improve your aim.
Yes.
Where would you like it? Preferably somewhere not visible.
I'm just gonna pull my shirt down and just say, here.
This will hurt. A lot. Make a
I
con
would
save.
say I've been through worse. Oh god.
What's the con save?
Oh, that is not good. Well, I guess I'm gonna faint.
She's gonna be screaming like a bitch.
I'm gonna be screaming like a little bitch. Can I at least oh, there's no composure. I was thinking of ATM. God damn it. That's a 5. Because I have 0 con.
You unbutton top of your shirt enough to show a bit under your shoulder.
Here.
He does mention how the rune is a little bit larger. You have to pull it down quite a bit. Trying to keep it
Can I
decent.
just bite?
But it is a very large rune. So basically this is your chest. It covers this much area.
Thank you.
All the way above. Basically right above where a corset would start. Just right there as he carves it in. You are wrong. You have not been through worse. This is the most excruciating, horrible, painful experience you have ever felt, and your screams echo in the training room so much that guards rush in until Tristan has to wave them off because they think someone is dying.
Yeah,
the
it's
second
really
time
painful.
looks weird.
I'm just gonna end up scratching his arm like, well, he's throwing
He
me.
holds
Screaming.
on to your hand and kind of lets you crush it, lets you try to kind of grab onto it. Just a little more. And he puts a piece of wood in your mouth for you to bite on.
Do they have to retrace it again?
When you retrace it, it's less painful. It's the initial creation.
Okay. Yeah, but that's what we are about to do, right?
Yes.
Retrace the
what you need to do is trace it. It will take, if you're doing it mid-combat, it will take a turn, not an action. Your whole turn to do it.
It's not a dex roll because my dex sucks.
If you want a dex one, you can have 2, or you can have the arcane defense. That's up to you. Tanya, when he finally finishes,
I meaning the applying the rune is not dex, right?
No, it's con.
It's not dex roll. Okay.
When you apply the
Zero
rune,
con.
when you have the rune already and you just trace it, you do con. If you pass, you take no damage. If you fail, you will take a certain amount of damage, depending on what the rune you put in is. As soon as he finishes carving, it almost makes you pass out, as you just kind of fall. You make sure to catch you so you don't hit your head on the ground. As you just kind of lie down for a bit. Pulls down the cloth of your shirt down so that it doesn't touch the scar, and just says, "Let it breathe for a while till it dries. It'll stop hurting in a few minutes." Lord
Just gonna
Commander,
lie on the ground.
would you also like
How
something
much damage?
Oh, the initial cost. Rolling digitally. 115 points.
115 15. I am down.
You are?
I only have 111. I fainted. I just fainted right there and then.
Shit.
For the
No
record-
dignity for Luna whatsoever.
For the
I'm
record,
down.
this thing was designed for level 20. This is not something a lower level person can handle. So that's why the damage is so high. But
Can I
it-
just-
0
as you
gone.
pass out, he just looks at Tristan. Your Lord Commander, your sister would require aid.
I know.
Heal.
The second time this week.
You can give her the full 100 that you can have in your lay on hands.
A day in the life. A day in the life point.
Tanya, you awaken. The pain is still there. He holds you. Easy. Just rest.
Yeah, I think I'll take that. Off. Just gonna lie on the ground like
just-
no dignity whatsoever for
He just looks
Tanya
at
just
you,
lying
and
down.
then he says, "You think that hurt?" And he points to every wound that's on his body.
I suppose I
just-
can take one each week, and whatever happens in the room, just don't tell anyone. I barely have any dignity left in the first place.
Secret is safe with
God.
me. I'm not sure about your brother. Lord
I was
Commander,
going to be a dick about it. Probably tell Maege the next time we leave this room.
would you like the same?
Oh,
A defensive
way, does it-
arcane measure.
Does it go above 20? This thing.
What do you mean above 20?
It improves ability score, right?
Yeah, but it's
Or-
temporary. Yeah, above 20, yes, but it's temporary.
Oh.
You have to keep reapplying it to get you buff.
Let's
What-
do the charisma one.
You don't want the arcane defense? Or do you want to risk 2 of them?
And what's the arcane defense?
Half all
You might need to marry or seduce the hag. You never know, right?
That is
Half-
still always a plan, boys.
the arcane defense will have all magical damage.
Okay, the arcane defense and the charisma one.
Ooh, make 2 con saves. The second one disadvantage.
Can I actually put the rune to use and like since it's my right hand that's damaged, can I try to throw a dagger? See if my accuracy is improved.
18.
Hold on. 18.
Yeah.
That's the first one.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Okay.
Let's try the
For
first
the
one.
application, you
Let's see the
feel
Lord go.
the excessive pain that Tanya felt. You know what it feels like. You understand why she reacted the way she did. However, you toughen up through it. You have definitely been through a lot of stabbings, slashings, and beatings. None of them ever felt quite like this. But you muscle through it. As he draws it, you on the chest, shoulder, back. Well,
Shoulder.
it has to be somewhere you can reach.
yeah.
So.
Shoulder.
Shoulder. Puts it on your shoulder. Also remember, you're wearing plate armor. Reapplying a rune
somewhere
through-
outside. Somewhere outside the ring. Can it be just here?
You can also apply it.
Or-
You can also apply it and then put your plate armor on. It lasts for an hour. It's just that you have to remember. This is why he wears leather armor. It can be here, a tattoo on the shoulder if you want. You can carve it on the arm here, just easier. He puts it on. It takes up. He varies the rune so that it takes up your entire right arm. After the pain, you take 57 points of damage. Just from the initial strike.
Oh, this will suck.
Don't worry, the damage for
57.
reapplying is very low. It's just applying it that could risk killing
Yeah.
killing someone who's low level. But when you apply it, you see it glowing as it stops. Make a second con save if you really want it. He does advise against it though.
Yeah, let's try. At disadvantage. That's good. So that's 17 and 15.
Nice.
So what's 15? That's 3. 18.
18. Okay. You fight through the second one. It hurts a lot more.
Will I faint? Will I faint?
Let's see how much damage you take. It hurts a lot more. So much more. And it is resonating with the pain from the first one. As if
I'm
they're
not
as
gonna
almost,
scream like a schoolgirl.
almost as if they're not designed to be taken at the same time. But you do it anyway. You start to sit down as the pain becomes too much, but you fight through it again. This is for charisma. Every time you activate the
charisma.
rune, you have a +2.
Who knows? That would make me. I save DC.
That's a
Okay,
+2
okay.
to your charisma every time you activate the rune. He finishes it. I'm assuming it's on your left arm, then, or do you want all on one arm?
No,
Cross.
it's.
Okay, so 2 arms. Okay, he finishes it. Tanya, by the time he's finished, you are able to feel the power of the rune. Any
So,
what you have for aiming, specifically, or did you want something for dex? Because there are 2 different things.
oh, the sort of for aiming is for attack. Dex is for like
Aiming is for your actual aim, for ranged weaponry.
like if I'm trying to one shot kill someone, kind.
It could apply. The aiming one would be, you have advantage on any ranged attack that you're going to make, of which a one shot will work.
Mhm.
Also, there's a bonus of a free to all rolls related to aim, and any dexterity maneuver, including trying to kill someone one shot, will add your proficiency bonus regardless, even if you're not proficient with the weapon, as long as it's a ranged weapon.
I'll go with accuracy.
Okay, then we don't have to retcon the damage because that's exactly how much it's going to do to you.
Thank you.
You take your dagger. Please roll an attack with the dagger. Add a +3, and you have advantage.
I got the natural 20.
Dagger goes through the board.
First roll.
In the center, through the board. Worth the pain?
Definitely.
It'll hurt less when you reapply.
Well, I sure hope that's the case because my screaming will alarm them about our, arrival.
Well, that's it then. Good luck.
Thank you.
He just nods at both of you.
Oh, how many damage do I get from the second one?
Oh yes.
I only have 126 left.
It only does. You succeeded, so it only does 42.
Okay.
Two of you leave the training room if you wish. He stays there. Tanya, he's doing the same thing in the same position. And sort of the same thing when you walked unknown last time. He's doing the exact same thing. Focusing his energy.
Yeah, before I leave, I will ask him, what? Are you meditating?
Not exactly. He pulls out his hand. There's a small portal.
Oh, he's
Some-
practicing.
He summons a demon. Takes out his sword and starts attacking it. And we basically see him fighting a demon. Getting some hits, but also dealing damage. Eventually he decapitates it. He unsummons.
How many can you summon?
Yeah, impressive.
Depending on how much of my powers I need to use. 3 a day.
Is the rune currently in effect? One
The
or
one he
one?
used, or the one
Yeah.
on yours?
The one on.
The one on
Okay,
him, he disabled when he fought the demon. The one on you is still working. The fight did not take that long.
Okay. Tanya, do you want to see if we can fight and practice?
Yes, it's been a while since I last used a rapier. Might as well get my gears working. Reckon?
Lune, can you?
How powerful of a demon would you like?
I'll entrust you with your judgment.
Something that tests your limits or something to test the runes out?
Something to test the runes out.
And limits for me.
You will not be fighting the same demon then.
how about just one to test our limits? Or the two? We'll fight.
Maege, would you like to be a part of this?
I will practice being support for both of them because I'm a spellcaster.
Okay.
That's actually what I am supposed to do.
At some point, because I was
Technically,
gonna
I'm also
say,
support.
because I was
Yeah.
gonna say that at some point Bane's gonna tell you that your siblings are fighting a demon in the training room, or
Yeah.
are training in the training room. If you want to witness this, so you are
Let's
gonna
do it.
walk in on Loon summoning a demon. He just kind of sits there, meditates, mutters something under his breath. Only Tanya has the perception to hear this. He just kind of summons Avara. The portal opens. You see a large, bipedal, winged, 15-foot gigantic devil creature. It looks at Loon. Just kind of snaps his head to you guys. Roll initiative, I guess. I was not expecting combat, but alright, let's do this.
Same.
One last thing for the night before the new year.
Yep.
For the new year.
Oh, crap. I only have 84, but yeah, let's do this.
22.
9.
So,
Shit decks.
the demon actually goes first. Oh, Mage, you're joining the fight?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Mage goes first.
Yeah.
Mage, you're first. There is a large 15-foot black devil exhuming
I know
dark
about it?
smoke.
Does it look like
Religion check,
religion?
if you have any.
I do. I have a +3 on religion. I remember it here. Give me a bit. There you go.
15 is respectable. He just summoned what is known as an Avara. This demon is a common patron to some more terrible warlocks. It feeds off of chaos and death. This thing deals a lot of death energy, i.e. necrotic damage, and has a tendency to prevent people from healing.
Is it like mostly strength based? Is it
You're not sure of the stats. You just know what it partially can do.
Well, it's a demon. General knowledge is they tend not to be that smart, no?
That depends on the demon. If it is capable of being a patron, it has to possess some form of knowledge and intelligence.
Then in this case, I'm going to.
Oh, you also caught wind of Tanya's screams of pain.
Eldritch Blast.
Roll
Do it.
4 d20s. That's 4 attack rolls.
4 d20s.
And add the attack bonus to it, which is plus 15,
Okay, so it's 13,
28,
14,
29,
11,
makes it 26.
19.
Yeah, all 4 hit. That's 4d10 plus your charisma modifier 5. 4d10 plus 20.
4 d10 plus 20.
Fucking warlocks.
For d10. 19 plus 20. 39 damage.
4d10 plus 19. 39? 19 plus 20 is 39. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Mage just kind of looks at you guys and wondering what the hell you guys have gotten yourselves into again. Pulls out her hand and 4 beams of greenish black energy. Seems unfazed, it moves. It runs toward Mage would be behind Tristan, so it's gonna run towards Tristan.
Yeah.
29 is probably gonna hit you.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of dice. Okay.
AC 20.
Oh, there's a lot of that.
Oh fuck, I'm down. I only have 80 plus. Forgot to heal before we do that. Did
He
this.
deals 37 points of damage on his first hit with his claw. Both his
57.
claws go through your body.
Mage cannot heal us. Fuck.
The second hit, when the claws hit, he opens his jaw into a tri-jaw and bites down on you
I'm down.
for 20 points of damage.
Dang it.
Necrotic, so make a con save. Make a constitution saving throw.
Yeah, that's good. 11.
11.
Oh, I mean 9.
You cannot heal from this damage.
But the last one, right?
Yeah, the total that you just took now, you cannot heal from it.
Okay.
Okay. Next is you, actually. No, Tanya.
Tanya.
Yeah, I'm going to. Actually, I was initially considering a close range combat, but might as well work on my specialties. I'm going to move as far away as possible across Tristan.
Okay.
Basically, try to flank him.
Okay.
From behind. And I am going to use my bonus action to activate the dagger.
Okay.
Cast darkness.
Okay. That blinds Mage and Tristan.
Wait, across. I went across, away from them.
So you're putting on the edge of it.
So.
Because he's in melee with Tristan. So if you're putting it on the edge of him.
No, just me. I'm just gonna cast darkness on myself so they can't see me, but I can attack him.
No, there's a radius.
It's a radius.
That's a radius of.
Oh, how big is the room?
The room is about 100 feet rectangular. The darkness range is 30. The darkness of the dagger is 30 feet from where you're standing. It's a diameter from the dagger. If you cast it, that's a 30-foot dome of darkness.
Yeah, but can I move? Use my full movement? I have 45 feet of movement.
To go around Tristan? You'd be...
Tristan is here, this is the demon. I'm going to go behind the demon.
Oh, you're not getting behind him. But most of the demons here, Tristan's in front, you'd be here. Like a 90-degree angle from Tristan.
Oof. And if I use darkness from where I am, it's going to reach Tristan as well?
Yes.
Or even if it's the edge, I cannot even fight it.
Yeah, if it's the edge, if you engulf in the darkness, he won't be able to see it.
No, the only reason why I was trying to engulf myself in darkness is so that it can't attack me. But I don't really want it to be in darkness, just me.
You'd have
That's
to
why I
move
was
backwards.
moving away.
Not behind the demon. You have to move backwards, not behind the demon.
Then that should be fine. I was gonna take advantage of a flank, but it's fine, I'll just move back.
You already have advantage because of the room.
Sure. Okay, I'll
45
go
feet back. Engulfing yourself in darkness does make you a target because there's a giant black orb.
Well, if it's AoE. Otherwise, he has disadvantage on trying to hit me because I'm in the darkness, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright.
That should be fine. Oh boy.
If you
There
say
goes
so.
nothing. You know what? The darkness doesn't really... fuck. Is there a place for me to hide in this room?
Pillars. Columns.
Then I'll just hide. This should be easier. Yeah, I'm gonna try to hit from where I am.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
It will be fun, they said.
I'll hide after I hit.
Oh, okay. Then attack him. Because you have advantage,
Okay.
you have sneak attack.
Yes, sneak attack. Oh. I rolled another natural 20.
Well, do crit damage. And then do sneak attack damage.
Oh dear. How much HP does this bastard have? Oh god, I'm afraid because I have to roll
Oh,
for
by
it.
the way, Nigel, I forgot to mention. The creature would have taken 10 points of damage from my scornful rebuke, I think.
Okay. Just 10?
Yeah, I mean, 5 each.
Okay.
5 each.
Come on, Jake, get on with the dice roll.
10. I'm just trying to get all my dice. Oh god. Children, don't believe them. D&D is math. Oh, that's a lot of ones. That's really sad. Can he do a con roll, please, for my death strike?
He needs to make a
4, 5,
con
6,
roll.
7, 8, 9, 10.
18.
Wait, hold on. I'll just compute the proficiency later. I'll just fucking compute all these dice first. 10, 12, 14, 15, 17, 18, 22, 27, 32, 32. 32 plus 8. 32 plus 8.
Okay.
40 points of damage.
You did the con save.
And the con save, that is 8 plus dex modifier. That's 22. Currently 22 dex modifier, right?
22. Yep.
14 plus proficiency. 20. So it does double.
Okay.
That's 80 points of damage.
Okay. One arrow goes through his body. Then you see blood gush out. Loon just gives him
I'm gonna
smirk.
hide.
Loon gives a smirk.
Mhm.
Because
Oh boy.
Oh
Tristan,
fuck.
I need a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
+6. It's +6, right? What's the plus that I have when
Dex
we're
save.
doing this? Yeah. It's still a plus with the aura.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
Plus your charisma modifier. 1 plus
Yeah,
charisma.
which is... Oh, well, then it's just 6. Fucking deck save with -1.
So it's +5.
Yes. 9? Fuck, I'm gone.
The blood sprays in front of you as the arrow from Tanya hits. As it sprays, it starts burning your skin. This, while the previous attacks were not magical damage, this is. The blood is magically acidic.
Okay. Half. I have a patient. No, I'm not a monk.
You take 47 points of damage, half to 23. As the
I'm down
rune
to 4?
blows from your arm and prevents a blint of the damage. It is your turn at last.
Oh, I'm just gonna try to hit it with the sword.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna... Okay, so the sword is +15 to hit.
Nice job,
That is 20.
Tanya.
that is
Damn it.
25.
25. That hit.
Yep. Okay, so 25. That's 1d8. That's 9.
Smites.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna put all of the divine smite.
What
I
level?
can smite one, right? Level 5.
You can smite as many times as you can attack.
Okay, so one level 5.
Level 5, he's
Level
a demon. This will be max. It's
48.
5d8.
5d8.
Because he's a demon, he gets a
5d8.
plus. There's a plus to the damage.
Okay, so that's 5d8 plus 9. And I'm gonna use my channel ability,
Okay.
which is Inspiring Smite,
Okay.
to regain temporary hit points, which
Okay.
is 2d8 plus 20.
Roll the damage first.
Okay. Roll 5, 8. That is 33.
33. Sword. That's the entire damage as the sword cleaves through its chest.
2d8 plus 20.
Tristan pulled back.
Tristan. Yeah.
Podcast active.
take your temporary HP, but you will also make another dex
29.
save.
I know. Dex save. Fucking dex save. But I have 29, so that is 32. 33. Dex save is good, not 20. Which is 19.
Plus 5, plus 5, plus
Plus
6.
5, so 24. Oh,
Plus
25.
Oh, then you save. You take no damage. You avoid the spew of acid on the floor as you strike him through the chest. You have an extra attack if you would like to take it.
Yep. That's 20. I'm gonna use my extra
Okay.
again. That is 12 plus 15, 27. And I'll use my last 5th level slot.
Okay, that's another 5d8.
Another 5d8 plus 9.
Look what you did to your brother, Tanya.
Damn it, I didn't know. I was out of ignorance. Although I would do it again, so you better get the fuck away.
I know.
Then he gets an opportunity attack,
29.
Tanya. 99 points of damage, okay.
Yep, and bonus action, I'm just gonna cast my spiritual weapon.
Okay. That can attack.
Yeah, 4th level.
Okay. That makes
Oh
it
wait,
a
3rd
2d8.
level. 3rd level higher, 2d8 for every second.
Has to be by
Oh.
2s. 2 second level, 4th level.
Oh, 4th level, so it's 2d8.
2d8 spiritual weapon. Make an attack roll, add your charisma modifier. Sorry, add your spell attack bonus.
Oh, so that is 26.
Okay. 2d8 plus your charisma modifier.
8. $13.
Make a 3rd dex save.
Dex save.
Okay, that one's not on me.
No, he's been
10.
attacking 3 times.
10. Like a kamikaze attack. I didn't even check my arm thing.
31 points of damage divided to 15.
Okay.
So the acid kind of spews on you as your spiritual blade attacks it from behind. Starts melting parts of your skin. Do you want to move?
No. I'll just be there.
Mage, it is your turn, and you are aware that every hit on this demon spews acid within a 5-foot radius of it. And
Why
Tristan is
did you
dying.
move?
There's opportunity attack.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
it's much fun.
DM, I was able to at least generally identify the demon, diba?
Yes.
Does it, I know I'm generally unaware of the stats, but like, does it look like a spellcasting demon? Does it look like or like, is it just a brute?
It doesn't look like it casts spells, it looks like it has innate abilities. But not spells.
Does it look particularly intelligent or sentient?
Oh, it would definitely be intelligent if you it would definitely be intelligent because it can be a patron. It requires intelligence to do so.
You know what? Let's give it a shot. Fuck it.
Okay.
Feeble
What do you want to do?
Feeble Mind. I'm going to cast Feeble Mind on it.
Okay. 1 second. What kind of save do I need to make for that?
Intelligence saving throw. It takes 4d6 psychic damage, and target must make an intelligence saving throw. On failed save, the creature's intelligence and charisma scores become 1.
Okay.
Well, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Your save DC is 21. It rolled a 19. So yeah, roll 4d6. Its
4d6.
charisma intelligence becomes 1. The creature can't
That's
cast
nice.
spells, activate magic items, understand language, or communicate in any intelligible way. The creature can, however, identify friend.
That means it's stupid, basically.
Yep, and
Right.
it takes every 30 days the creature repeats a saving throw. So it's an idiot for 30 days at minimum.
Yeah. We're good here. It's
Oh,
That's so
when-
harsh.
20.
Maybe we can make it fight the hag.
20.
I'm going
Okay.
to
Arrange
practice.
marriage with the
I'm
hag.
practicing on it today.
Mage just kind of looks, points her hand at it, and you don't know what Mage is doing, but you see this sort of dark aura surround the creature's head as it just... Previously, it was grunting, and then kind of muttering infernal languages, and then now it's just grunting. Just... and it just went completely primal.
Maege is just going to like crack her fingers a bit. Let's finish this.
Okay, that's your turn. It is the creature's turn. It just looks at everything.
I'm good.
The only thing it notices is, because it has intelligence of 1, what it notices is a pretty lady decide to do mind games to it. So it runs after Mage despite the obvious threat that's in front of it. So Tristan, you get an opportunity attack.
Opportunity.
Do you have Sentinel?
Mage? Me?
Yeah, it's running after Mage, but Tristan gets an opportunity attack.
No, I don't have.
Hey, stop it! It's gonna
25.
fucking...
25. I
That
don't
hits.
have.
But
Sorry.
you
Don't
can
have
divine
Sentinel.
smite an opportunity attack if you want to.
Let's try. I am gonna divine smite it 4th level, which is 48.
Go for it.
Okay, 48. Oh.
Actually, 2d8, 3d8, 4d8. Is divine smite just 1d8 on level 1?
Let me check.
Because you get a plus 1d8 for it being a demon.
Divine smite. 2nd level. When you hit the creature.
2d8 for the first spell slot, 1d8 for each succeeding.
Maximum 8. Maximum
is
5d8.
2d8 level 1, 3d8 level 2, 4d8.
Oh, it should have been
level 3.
7d8
No,
earlier.
max of 5.
No, I mean, I didn't roll for the weapon.
Oh, then yeah.
D8.
It's still 5d8 at 4th level. Because it gets a plus 1d8 for being a demon.
Okay, it's. And.
Keep hacking away at it, I'll keep it distracted.
Yeah, another 8. So 35.
We're not thanks.
Okay, 35. Alright. Well, that cleave definitely almost killed it. But it keeps moving towards Mage.
Mm-hmm.
Mage,
Nice move, Maege.
what's your AC?
Sacrificing yourself.
Mage, what's your AC?
Okay. AC is hang on.
Never mind, it's not gonna be a 30, I'm 30 certain.
No, my AC is 19. Ooh.
Yeah, no. So, Tristan, are you ready to take over the family?
No!
It was a fun ride, boys. That's a wrap.
This
Mage.
is what we call practice.
52 points of damage from the first hit.
Okay.
As the claws go through your torso, and then it goes for a bite. Ew. So that's a crit on the bite.
Oh! I've used everything with Tanya. Sorry.
We have no healer in the party.
So what's the damage on that, sir?
Death. That's the damage. Death.
Tristan, you had one job. That's what made you say last.
Tristan, you had one job.
I had one job.
I can only use Channel Divinity once, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
On a crit, that is 82 points of damage.
Oh, fuck.
Are you alive?
I'm alive!
As the two claws go over your torso,
Let's end this, mofos. Let's
The-
end this.
the mouth opens and bites through you, leaving you bleeding out.
I'm
Tanya,
alive! Okay.
what would you like to do? knowing that your sister's dying within 5 feet of this monster?
Yeah, I am going to try to I'll try to hit its head, basically. But if I hit its head, it's going to spray blood all over Mage, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But if I try to run with Mage, it's gonna take an opportunity attack on us or just me?
It only takes opportunity attacks when something leaves its melee range.
Okay. Fuck it.
Let it
I'm going
squirt
to
on
try
me.
to hit it first. Mage, can you take another, a spray?
No.
No, we're all gonna die here. How does the demon look?
Badly, badly hurt. Dying.
What I need you to do is get the Tristan lang. Just if it takes another hit, I just need you to get him out of there. Watch
Tristan,
this.
did you happen to prepare cure wounds?
No,
Okay, good to know.
because I.
I am not gonna beat him
Good
yet.
to know.
Okay, good
So
enough.
get Tristan out of range.
Do I have cure wounds?
Tristan's
I
out of
don't have
range
Yeah,
because
you
it
do.
ran.
Paladin level 1.
Yeah, but did you prepare it?
No.
Then no. Tristan is out of range already. Tristan's out of range because it went after Mage, who's behind Tristan. It got a good 20 feet away from Tristan.
No.
So, wait, can I try to hit it from the side so that the blood would, not hit Mage directly? So the spray of the blood wouldn't hit her.
You'd have to move.
Yeah, I would. I'm going to do that. Would I be out of hiding if that's the case?
Yep.
Oof. Can I move, hide, then hit it?
If you're willing to use your bonus action for it, yes.
Fuck. Yeah, sure. I'll
Okay.
do that. I
Make a
can't
stealth
risk
check.
getting mage hit. Okay, stealth check. Oof. I don't think he can see through this. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 31.
That works. Attack.
And
Sneak
I'm gonna
attack.
hit.
Attack
sneak
roll.
attack at
Advantage.
disadvantage.
Advantage roll.
Oh, I got 14 3 times. What the fudge?
That
That's
hits.
14 plus 14. Yeah.
That'll hit. Plus 3.
Okay, sneak attack. Let's do this. Time for maths, kids.
Shiny math. Clickety clackety
I
dice.
should have just used stroke of luck. God.
Oh my god, that's a lot of dice.
Mm-hmm.
I
Nobody
hear
and kids.
a lot of dice. That's a lot of
6,
dice.
Yeah.
12, 18. This is like the complete opposite of my roll earlier. I had like 5 ones earlier. 6 of 18, 24,
I'm just going through my stuff.
30, 36,
Dude, even, he's an idiot.
41, 42,
Also,
43, 44.
just so you know,
44
because
plus
Mage,
8, yes.
because of what Mage did, the demon couldn't cast one very particular spell I wanted to cast. Go on.
Yay! Time.
44 plus 8.
Support.
52.
Your arrow goes through its side,
Mhm.
right through the neck, and severs the spinal cord from the arrow, and the head
Nice.
spins backward and
That's
lands
a
on the
Mortal
ground.
Kombat.
Oh.
And it just bleeds out into ichor.
Oh, nice. It didn't squirt on Mage.
Nope. The ichor does burn the floor, bro.
God, it didn't squirt on Mage. You couldn't have worded it nicely. You couldn't have worded it nicely.
Mage, you stand up. Loon goes up to all of you and says, I think you've all had enough for the day.
You guys are a mess.
We are a mess. We!
Yeah, you guys.
We! Ah.
Well, that was fun,
That's
wasn't it? I'm just kind of saying it's like I'm like brushing off the blood.
To
Loon.
be fair, that was it's been a while since we last fought together. Like
Yeah.
the three of us. Mage is usually sitting her ass on the throne, so
Are you implying something?
I am, yes.
It's a very good ass though. It will serve this family. It will serve this family more than 100 wars when it finally has to be used.
Let's just hope
Okay.
you can use that to prevent wars like this.
The end of the
The ass that can't prevent wars.
Yeah, the ass that can prevent wars.
A booty that stopped 1,000 wars.
Well, technically, we're like booties that start wars. We're genuinely starting wars here.
At the end
Oh,
of the
God.
day, you
Mhm.
all can take a well-deserved rest.
On the way back, I will like talk with Maege and just say, about that excursion.
Yeah.
Would you prefer that I stay behind or can I go with?
If you go with, Lucas stays behind. One of the things I also plan to do was while we're all away, I want all of our second in commands watching and see who attempts to scry while the cats aren't home. It's also going to be a trap because I know that while everyone is out, someone's gonna try to break in here or someone's gonna try to steal stuff. All our second in commands will stay home and keep watch. I want them to think we are going to let our opponents make that mistake.
Okay,
It's a trap
Um,
then. I'll talk with Lucas.
I'll talk to Chanas. Also, can I delay my expedition to the Changeling Kingdom after we finish the hag?
I suppose so. The hags are kind of an existential threat while the Changeling Kingdom is just income, isn't it? That's true. Alright, granted. Will you be coming on like the advanced party or with the expedition? With the witch hunt itself?
Well, I'll be coming with the advance party too.
Both or just one?
Both. Yeah, I mean, we don't go home, right?
Ano?
Advance party to scout.
Yeah. Parang tama na DM ang mangyayari, like the advanced party will like spot them first and then kind of like the rest of the parties will follow na.
Yes.
Yeah.
In that case, proceed.
Okay.
Although yun, while we're all away, we need to talk to our second in to our XOs, our second in command, because people are going to try to spy while we are away, and I want to catch them off guard because they think we're going to be busy, but I also Maege, I also want to be out so that they think they can scry and pry and go.
Might as well prepare our elven friends too.
Yep.
Oh, Ida will stay.
Oh yeah, she'll stay.
She can go if it's that important that she not be there.
Yeah,
I can.
Rosana. If
Is
Rosana's away,
Comatose.
so it's gonna be Lucas,
Celestine.
Marcus, Jonas.
Jonas.
Okay. You inform your seconds. Anything specific you want to tell them other than the plan that's gonna happen?
I'm going to tell Marcus if you do catch someone sneaking around, keep him alive in the dungeon. Do whatever you need to do to make him compliant.
Do we have a spare dungeon, by the way? Because you just blew it up.
Oh yeah, you just blew up one room. There's still a dungeon.
Okay.
Of course, Baroness. I shall
Keep
ensure.
him alive. Toy with him as much as you want to make him compliant, but keep him alive.
It's been a while since the old implements have been used. I shall take joy if we find someone.
I don't like how he said that. The old implements. I got goosebumps from that. Like the old implements.
Just nods and says, I will keep them
Like
alive.
it's so. What's that supposed to mean? The old. I got goosebumps from that. What does that mean?
Low-key
It's so
badass though. Baby looking badass.
You know it's next level evil when it doesn't even sound scary anymore. Like it's just the old implement.
He just kind of tells you, I will ensure that whoever is foolish enough to do such a thing will remain alive. I cannot promise this is the state of aliveness, but alive nonetheless, and capable of speech.
Lord Bane, I need them alive enough for an interview.
Of
Alive
course.
enough for an interview,
Of
Lord
course.
Bane.
That is.
I know it's been a while, old man, but you know, business has to be done. I promise I will let you torture him as much, but we need to interrogate any potential prisoners first.
Of course. They also need to be placed in a state which they will be compliant to an interrogation, I understand.
Ooh. Jesus, Bane. Okay.
Just nod.
Jesus. Okay.
Anything the others want to say to her second, other than stay behind?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say to you, Jonas, just be on extra alert. People are gonna try things. Especially what happened to Lucas.
I understand, Lord Commander. We shall keep watch. Tanya?
When I see Lucas, I'm just going to look at him and just say, I know you're looking forward to joining the expedition, but I need you for a much more important mission.
Of course. Shall I stay behind, Master?
Yes. Keep our castle safe, and I'm gonna point at the palm where the engraving was put. I'm assuming that that's going to keep you safe from spellcasters. Charming effects.
To an extent. Saloon was kind enough to lend me one of his kales.
Good. Keep an eye out. Make sure no one passes us by. We are the most perceptive people in the castle. We cannot fail this. And if you do catch someone, you know what to do.
Of course, Master. Just nod.
Protect our keep. I'm just gonna pat his shoulder and just go to my room.
Always. Inside your room is some hot milk.
Freshly made.
Yep.
Because
I
I
feel
think
love.
but sige.
Hmm?
You know, while we don't ask questions, you know, milk in the middle of nowhere is pretty sus.
We don't ask questions, Mage. It just
Yeah.
appears there from the grace of God and our guidance, blessing. We don't
But
ask.
if it came from the
question.
barrack,
If you want
What?
to
We
know,
don't ask questions about the milk.
if you want to know where the milk comes from, just ask Lucas.
yeah,
That's-
this is
Yeah. To be fair, they don't know that it was Lucas who's sending me the milk. They just see me with a glass of milk
Yeah.
every time. I never really told them that it comes from Lucas,
Sending
and I never really
No, I
asked
meant
him
Tanya. If you want to know,
never
just
asked
ask
him, so.
Lucas.
No, I
sending
just
me the
completely trust him.
milk is one of the unsexiest things I have ever heard my whole life.
Wait, what?
Do you want me to send you the milk? That is one of the unsexiest things I have ever heard, like my whole
And
life.
that's a good place to end for the night, because I'm not
H,
continuing this conversation.
DM,
fake.
there is one more thing. There is one more thing
Yes.
for my part.
Yes.
Did I ever get an answer back from Phineas Pike?
The letter
Hmm.
for the day when the raven came in, not yet. Towards the night, as the day ends, there is a response. Vane gives it to you. The back of the letter specifically states that you are the only one to read this. He has not opened it. When you open the letter, it reads, interesting. I'll be in touch.
Can I send him a message before I go to sleep lang?
You need a sending spell.
Sending, yeah. I'll use sending.
You have it?
Yeah, meron naman ng sending.
Okay. What do you want to say? 25 words.
There has been a development. Oracles manipulating my assassins. How many is that na?
9.
9? May we speak in private? Hindi, may we speak in confidence or like in secrecy? How many is that na?
14.
Time and place of your choosing.
20. I have ways of making a certain area private. Whenever you're free in your own little castle, I can be there.
Can I, how many spell slots do I have in a day? I think I can still be sending one more time, diba? Yeah, I've got one more because I used Feeble, then I used that.
So you have two more.
Yeah. I will send another sending spell. Dusk. I will be awake. Great. Dusk. I will be awake. The Great Hall.
I'll be there. That's it.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to end on that
Okay.
note before this conversation goes to another place I don't want to go to. Good night, everyone.
I mean,
Thank you for watching.
milk.
Good night, guys.
Tanya likes her
Waking
milk.
up with
Tanya likes her
waking
hot
up with
glass of
milk beside her bed.
Don't worry, we'll find out where that milk comes from at some point, but not today. Not
Maybe.
today.
Good night, everyone.
Maybe.
And Happy New Year in advance.
Happy New Year, guys.